Today, National STOL heads westward into the gateway of the Wind River mountain range and up into the highest field elevation our pilots will compete in all season. That's right, we're at 7,092 feet, over a mile high this weekend at an airport where, as we learned last year, heavy winds can bite. Welcome to Rocky Mountain STOL. Pinedale, Wyoming is a fan and pilot favorite every year, with incredible terrain and even more incredible Western hospitality. The touring class continues to take flight this weekend as John Douglas defends his home turf from the likes of Rick and DJ Holman and Don Mickey. We'll also see John McCardle's long-awaited return to the circuit, now flying Bird Dog in the Wilderness class, hoping to unseat the domination of the Backcountry boss. And don't forget Jared Garrettson and the most challenging airports of the season, the longest for takeoff. Let's get those engines started. National STOL's Rocky Mountain STOL starts now.
And welcome to National STOL Rocky Mountain STOL, Pinedale, Wyoming.
Yeah, we're all the way up here, over a mile high, Cam.
Over a mile high. We're just a little bit over 7,000 feet.
Yeah,
elevation.
we're up here. We're up here. I don't want to get too personal.
Oh.
But like, we're so high that I had a little thing. I had to go to urgent care this morning, and they took my pulse ox, and it was like 91. Bad? Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's just how it is for you. You're fine.
Oh,
You're fine.
yeah. You're just
so maybe a little loopy today for Ryan. Anyway, that's right. We're here at Ralph Wenz Field in Pinedale, Wyoming.
Yeah. So on your sectional, we're at Kilo, Papa, November, Alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be. We got this beautiful turf runway right in front of us here, Cam. They've been using a steamroller to flatten it out and make it even nicer for the pilots. We're in a little different spot than we were last year, mostly, I think, to give the local crowd like a little bit better view.
Yeah. And I stood in the stands, and like it's pretty much unobstructed. Like if you're sitting in the stands right now, you have a great view of the line right now. So it's awesome, and I'm very happy for them because they're going to be excited too.
Unobstructed in person here at Pinedale, Wyoming. Come out today or tomorrow if you're watching this online and you're anywhere near Pinedale. We're just about an hour south of the Teton National Park. And Yellowstone and things like that. So come on down, but also unobstructed online. So you can watch this. You're watching us online.
All the good views online.
So yeah, we're gearing up for it right now. Really excited. Things that people should do if they're excited today and tomorrow is they should vote for their fan favorite.
Okay, yes. nationalstol.com/vote for that. Vote for your favorite pilot. You're talking about getting excited. I mean, if right now, maybe you should be drinking some Legend Aviation coffee.
Oh, yeah. You got the Legendary Aviation coffee would be great to keep you caffeinated.
Yes,
They're our friends over there have been keeping us caffeinated for a few years now.
Yeah.
Really appreciate their support and keeping us awake. It's a long haul to get these events started, and pilots love it in the morning. If you're going to be at an airport, you got to have a breakfast. Maybe some pancakes. What pairs best with that?
Some coffee.
Some coffee.
Some Legendary Aviation coffee.
Yeah, it's really good. It's what's cool about it is never bitter. Like I thought that was just like a tagline.
Yeah.
But it literally is like the smoothest coffee you'll drink.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's really good stuff.
And a little bougie. Yeah. Heck yeah. So, where are we at on our series? Is this stop number? Like that? The season got kind of shifted. So.
Yeah, we got some stuff moving around. So yeah, we're on stop a million.
Yeah.
We have been traveling all over this great country, and Cam, you and I have shared so many amazing memories with all the rest of the folks that help bring National STOL to everybody. And so we're at the for the series up here. We were pretty high in Oregon. Now here in Pinedale, Wyoming. You got the Wind River mountain range, I think, behind us there.
Yeah.
And just really beautiful views on all sides. Next up, we're going to be going over to Appalachian Mountain STOL.
Yes.
That's going to be kind of like a different style of mountain, the East Coasty mountain.
Yeah.
And then the event after that, probably, I think, the lowest we'll ever be.
Absolutely.
In Virginia Beach at the Military Aviation Museum.
Yeah, we'll be on the beach, essentially.
Yeah.
We'll be at sea level.
So big differences for the pilots. It's going to make a big in their aircraft performance. As I mentioned, my body performance. It's all stuff that you need to do to calibrate.
Yeah.
So first up, we're going to get practice class, and this is going to be 180s, the 182s. I think I see them all back there. So let's walk through those names.
Right now, first up will be Don Mickey, race number 53 from Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's going to be flying a 1953 Cessna 180. John Douglas, race number 304 from Pinedale, Wyoming, so a hometown hero. He's going to be Cessna 182. And then we have Derek DJ Holman, race number 345, flying a 91 Mall MXT 7-180. And he Oregon.
Yeah, and that Mall you're going to see twice, folks, because DJ flies it and then his father flies it. And in addition to watching them kind of duke it out against all the competitors, since we saw them at Moses Lake, we're also seeing them duke it out against each other. And as a dad, it's like you want to win against your kid, but you don't. So first three in the touring class.
And we got our green flag. So we're about to get started here.
Now, this is just practice. It's what we call our heated practice.
Yes.
The heated practice, it gives the competitors a chance to see who they'll be following in competition tomorrow. It's good for people who are. It's good just for around the open practice where anyone can go. So here's Don.
Blowing that dust. Douglas's airplane. And he's pulling. Airborne. You know, the density altitude is what's going to affect our pilots today and tomorrow. So, I mean, you're going to see longer takeoff rolls, especially if you don't have a turbo on in your engine. Like, if it's not turbo, then you're going to have a bit laggy performance. So.
Yeah, it's just going to be a different thing. Right now, here's someone who's got no bounds to his experience here in Pinedale. It's his home airport. John Douglas on the roll, one of the hosts. Waiting, and wow, clean takeoff for John Douglas. So this is the thing, right? We've seen John struggle when he gets lower in field elevation in the circuit, right? He struggles with that. He's like, oh, the air's a little thicker than I expected.
Yeah.
Now here he is at home, exactly where he's calibrated. Again, his body and his plane.
Derek Holman, DJ Holman on the line. See the Mall do its thing, the quintessential backcountry airplane. Woo! Okay, yeah. And he's going to stay in ground effect, so he's giving us an exhibition of short field operations.
Yeah, so you pop off the ground, right? You get the aircraft off the ground.
Right.
It's in what we call ground effect, like you just mentioned, Cam.
Yep.
The airplane basically gets a little bit of a boost of lift when it's about a wingspan-ish from the ground.
Yep.
And so you can use that to your advantage taking off because you can get the airplane off the ground. It wouldn't normally be ready to fly. If you climbed out of your wingspan from the ground, it wouldn't normally want to fly.
Yep.
You keep it down low and build up some extra speed, and you can climb out really nicely, but you're not on that rough surface, right?
Yeah.
And what I love about Pinedale is we have, not only do we have a high field elevation, we also have, like, it is not the worst surface. It's nicely done. They've flattened it out for us and everything. But it's more indicative of maybe what you would land on.
Yeah.
In the backcountry on like a little grass strip or a farm strip. Here we go now. Don Mickey to the right.
Dropping the power.
A little bit of burst of power there is going to push him further down the runway.
You can see the tail kind of come up a little bit when he had added that burst of power. And once again, this is practice, so we're really getting everything dialed in. A lot of these pilots are at a higher elevation, and with higher elevation comes higher density altitude. Density altitude is going to be what the aircraft thinks it's flying at. So we may be at 7,000 feet, but if the density altitude is 10,000 feet, then it's going to perform. It's going to be a little bit more labored performance.
John Douglas coming in a little hot, but good over the line. Now he's got that tricycle gear, so he can get heavier on the brakes, arguably.
Hard.
Internet troll flame war, but arguably he can get heavier on the brakes. He's got those flaps all the way down. He can't retract them the way some of the other pilots can if they're manually operated. He's got electric flaps. He's got to just keep them down. You'll see other pilots pop them up to kill even more lift over the wing. Some of the scores coming in, by the way, kind of setting the stage for tomorrow. Don Mickey with a combined score of 733, but very interesting. John Douglas, longer on the takeoff, but well shorter on the landing. He's got a run of 728 combined. Maybe giving a little credulity? What word was I trying to say? A little bit of credibility to what I was saying before. Just want to toot my own horn. Nose gear, brake harder, maybe. He also could just land it closer to the line. Here's DJ now. Ooh! He got that tail down in the dirt.
I mean, that was awesome. From my perspective, it almost looked like he touched the line, but Lexi gave double thumbs up. I mean, that was as close to the line as you can get.
And just digging a little trench with that rudder.
Yeah.
And now this is what I love about the new setup here in Pinedale. They're going to taxi right past us. That is cool. What's up, Don? Nice work.
So I was
wingtips over the cameras here.
Yeah, I talked to John Douglas yesterday, and he was like, yeah, we brought the crowd in just a little bit closer and moved the field from where it was last year. So the runway is actually closer to where to the taxiway that they're taxiing on right now than it was last year. And it's already exciting. I mean, the taxiing by is excellent, especially from a photographer standpoint.
Or a
videographer standpoint. Like, it's just awesome. And if you're looking at DJ in the aircraft right now, you'll see that in the right seat, he's got a passenger.
Yeah, well sort of. Don Mickey now giving it the full legendary coffee beans, legendary aviation coffee beans. Here he goes. Tails coming up, tails down. A little early still. It wasn't quite ready to fly. Backcountry flying in competition is a lot about timing.
Yes.
You can kind of just feel the airplane. You're waiting to feel that wing get ready. And sometimes it's elevations. It's happening so fast, you end up just counting. John Douglas.
And excellent, just like the last time. He pulled, the plane was ready to fly. He's in ground effect. He's going to stay there for a little bit, and then he's going to turn out. And we have DJ approaching the line right now. And I was saying he had a passenger. It's kind of sort of a passenger. He's got a skeleton next to him.
Yeah, little skeleton.
Named Theodore. He's also going to apply some pressure. Push it all the way to the firewall. And when he pulls back, I guarantee that plane is going to... Oh, he settled back down just a little bit.
So talk to me about that, Cam. If they settle back down onto the runway, what happens to the scoring?
The score is going... So we're going to measure from the last time the wheels left the ground. So if you're going to if you're going to touch 3 times, then coming from that third takeoff, we're going to measure from that third takeoff. So he initially pulled back and was airborne, then settled back down, and then was airborne again, so we're going to measure from the second time that he was airborne. Don Mickey coming around the corner.
As Don Mickey comes around the corner, I want to mention that this practice today, as well as the competition tomorrow, is simulcast on live airshow TV.
Yeah, they're not over the main.
Yeah.
There are friends that cover the airshow industry pretty aggressively. They travel around the country. I've had the honor of anchoring with them a few times, and so we're simulcast on live airshow TV. Another great way to watch National STOL and other air shows all over the country. If you can't get to them, you can watch some of these air shows. Okay, Don Mickey, little burst of power.
Yes.
Nice one for Don Mickey. And see, he's got to pull that yoke full back to try to get that air over what's called the elevator on the back of the aircraft. It's going to keep that tail down, right? And then if the tail stays down, then what he can do is be heavy on the brakes. But it's all a balancing act there. If he gets too hard on the brakes in a what we would call a conventional gear aircraft, a tail dragger aircraft, he could be up on the nose. And that is not a particularly bad day for him, but it might be an expensive day for him if that happens.
Airplane's not going to like it.
Yeah, airplane's not going to like it at all. Here's John Douglas.
Oh.
Dude, those wheels are just locked up.
They are locked up. So that's going to be a scratch for John. Landed a little bit before the line. Next up, DJ Holman on final. On base. He's turning base final right now.
What Cam's talking about, folks, is the traffic pattern. We've got our runway right in front of us. This leg, imagine it's a rectangle, and you've got sides of the rectangle.
Yeah.
That side of the rectangle is called base. You turn through the corner of the rectangle, base to final is what sometimes pilots will say on the frequency.
Yep.
Turning base to final, every pilot knows right where to look for that. And now he's on final approach. And now we would maybe say he's on short final.
Jinx, double jinx.
Look at him hold it off there. He's going to, too short. These pilots are acting like it's competition day. They are hanging it out there. And I got to wonder if for me, right, I fly, you and I both fly vintage fabric-covered tube and fabric airplanes.
Yep.
Dragging the tail on that feels a little icky.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that. But
mean,
that's him. It's his plane. It's not unsafe.
Right.
It's going to, like, mess up your fabric.
Right. But when he comes by, you'll notice he's got, like, a little bit of a skid. There's a little skid back there to save that fabric, save some of the tubes that are underneath the fabric.
Let's check it out here as it comes by.
Yeah.
Is it just the tie down?
I just need a tie down.
No, I see where you're. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like a different shaped tie down kind of project, but you can see the little bit of the wear on the very tail end of the rudder there from hitting the dirt. So,
Yeah.
Don Mickey, race number 53. Still a little bit too soon for Don Mickey. Now, I don't know what the altitude is where he's at in New Mexico.
It's going to be high still.
But is it going to be this high?
No.
So that might be part of it, right? Is he's just like feeling like he feels normally, pulling a little too soon.
Yeah. Didn't look that up real quick. Didn't dial out.
John Douglas on the roll, and once DJ gets up for his third run of practice here, we'll walk through where we are at with the scores.
So his elevation at home is 5,312 feet. So he's almost at a mile. Actually, he's over a mile. What am I saying? 5280 is a mile. DJ Holman on the line right now. You can see him doing a surface control check. just flying behind the airplane as he's pulling off.
Digging it in again.
Yeah.
Oh, just tickling the top of the grass there for DJ. He is really good at controlling that aircraft.
Yeah. As our pilots are on, so we talked about base and final. Right now, all of our pilots are on, well, almost all of our pilots are on downwind. And since they have a right-hand turnout, we're going to say it's the right downwind as they make that turn.
Yeah.
John Mickey now making that right-hand turn, right base. And that just looks so great. It's such a great vintage look.
So right now, Don Mickey's best run of practice so far, a combined score of 696. John Douglas will be right behind him, a combined score of 728 with the DQ on that second run. He's scratched, it doesn't count. You land a little too short. Derek Holman also scratching on his second run, but a combined score of 506. Don Mickey now holding it off with throttle, not enough though. At a certain point there, depending on your aircraft, there's just not enough thrust in the world to hold you off the ground. If she's done flying, she's done flying. You might see some stuff later today that spits in the face of that. but for now, in this class, in these heavies, these touring aircraft, that is definitely the case. Once it's going to land, it's going to land. You've got to really plan ahead.
John Douglas on short final. Flaps deployed. High alpha here.
Ooh, big.
Modulate the throttle. Yeah, it went up.
We're not really burned. We're not really concerned with the passenger comfort in National STOL. It's just about getting the airplane down and stopped, but burned. Let's make that, someone quick, make a Wikipedia page about burned. Figure out what the definition of that is. Okay, so moving on. Hey, while we're getting geared up here comes DJ Holman with the skeleton, maybe at the controls. He's hanging it out. Nice. That was a nice one for DJ.
Yeah. It was a great landing for a mall. I mean, that's what you really picture a mall doing.
Yeah, it's like the quintessential plane. Okay, I wanted to just give a little shout out to folks.
Let's do it.
John, who's going to be taxiing by you right now, and his wife Angela, as well as their friends Kathy and Bruce, have pulled this thing together. Yeah, give a round of applause to these pilots, particularly John in the second. Yeah, there's Don Mickey. John in the second aircraft here, the green and gold and white one, pumped up to. That team, John, Angela, Kathy, and Bruce, they've done so much behind-the-scenes work to get everything prepped for this event. They're the hosts, and they are just amazing people, making sure that everyone knows the gifts that Wyoming has to offer. See, the other two guys we're all psyched to see is DJ's all business.
Yeah, he's straight business.
So, anyway, I just thanks to them, John, Angela, Kathy, and Bruce, for bringing us all here.
Yeah, it takes a lot to put these events on. They're doing a great job with it. Don Mickey, you see that tail come up just a little bit, now a lot of it, back down to try and launch himself off the ground, but he's going to get it figured out. He's going to get it dialed in.
Yeah, it's what today is all about.
And we have a light wind right now, so like it's not like the environment is helping him.
Yeah, right now, wind 110 at 6 knots.
Okay. Yeah.
Right down the runway.
Let's see John pull it. Yeah. I mean, flawless. almost settled back down, but like I said, I mean, he's from here. He knows what he's doing. This is his home airport. All right. And DJ Holman all the way to the firewall with the throttle.
Oh, going for it. Not quite clean.
Yeah.
We'll see what the judges say about that. And I was just going to, we maybe were about to say the same thing. Let's say what we were going to say, just a single word review of what we were going to say on the count of three, and we'll see if it's the same. Ready? 1, 2, 3, flaps. Okay. Pulled early 100%. You go first.
So yeah, we're talking about pulling early, like we are sitting in the cockpit. But what ends up happening is if you don't have enough airspeed, if the plane is not ready to fly and you pull the stick back, it's not going to fly. And so you're pulling just a little bit early. It's not the end of the world. You do kind of sacrifice a little airspeed when you do that.
Right. Little drag.
But at the same time, you are presenting a lot of that leading edge at a higher angle of attack to help with the lift. So it will leave the ground, just like we saw with DJ. He pulled a little early and then he left the ground. But yeah, I mean, that's what you're going to see out here. You're going to be an expert by the time we're done, saying that, oh, he pulled early. Oh, he pulled.
Yeah, I mean, the shorthand is if the aircraft tail slams down and the airplane does not fly immediately.
Yeah.
Don Mickey all throttle. Oh, a little early again. That tail wheel can hit before the line, but you saw he was kind of descending at a higher rate. Yeah. Not an uncomfortable rate, maybe even, but just a higher rate. And when the tail hit, you just got like basic physics happening, right? The tail hits. Now we've got some forces applying on the tail of the aircraft, and the mains are going to come down right after. So he did scratch that one as well on his fourth run here in practice.
Yeah, and the only real way to mitigate that is to just give it more power. I mean, just slowly introduce more power and while you're pulling the stick back, but hitting the tail on the ground is going to slow you down too.
Ooh, and too short. Yeah, John Douglas. What's going on with that guy? Too short again. And we do have, you know what the problem is, Cam, is the conditions are too good. That's my theory. I don't know if you've ever had it happen when you fly. If it's it's not winds calm right now, but it's light winds. We got 6 knots right on the nose.
Yeah.
Sometimes I fly better when I have like a gnarly crosswind.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, that's how it was for me before I flew in. I was doing some practicing back home, and winds calm is not really that fun. So 6 knots, I mean, adds a little bit to it, and yeah, I mean, I need more wind. I need a little bit more gnarly conditions, and then I'm having a little fun in the pattern.
Nice to stretch you. While we wait, Cam, I don't know if there's some other folks we want to talk about.
Yeah, so let's thank some more folks. We've got the Lions Club. Blackstone, they provided some Blackstone grills and tables for us for dinner. Oh, DJ.
Just, he's got to learn to replace his divots, man. That tail, that rudder back in there. Anyway, so that's good. That's the 4th run of the touring class in practice here. Sorry to interrupt. DJ so rudely interrupted you, Cam. But there's some other folks that have helped make this possible.
Yeah, because of some recent history, I decided that I wanted to roll our production trailer and truck a couple months ago. So we've got some local sponsors that have provided some of the equipment for us to have things like breakfast and dinner. So once again, the line chairs, Mountain Man Museum for use of the VIP tent. So if you see the
VIP tent over there.
Yep. And then we've got Napa. They did 10 by 10 shade canopy. So
I think that's us.
That's us.
Yeah,
this
thanks,
actually
Napa.
Is a Napa tent. It
Yeah,
says Napa.
very appreciative of that.
Half Moon tables and hanger meals.
Thanks to Half Moon Lake Lodge. That's rad.
For the brochures. And Pinedale Aquatic Center for the use of the paint spray and the passes for the pilots. So, I mean, the city really came together. They knew that we were in need, and they're really helping us out. We thank everyone for that.
So that is going to be the touring class. Let's take a short break. We're going to hear about another great Pinedale, Wyoming nonprofit. We're going to hear a little bit about the J Foundation.
The J Foundation story, it really starts back in small town Pinedale, Wyoming. One of my best friends, his name was Jim J. Young, later became J. Bob Bing, so he was adopted from Korea. Jay and I were in the same class together, so we did sports together, we did life together, we did just about everything. The Bing family for the last 75 years has owned the cowboy shop in Pinedale. He just loved his boots. He wore them everywhere. So he wore them with jeans, he wore them with shorts, he wore them with sweats. Carolyn, his mom, always reminds me to tell people he wore them to bed in his pajamas. He went off to the University of Wyoming. I came over here to CSI. You know, from the outside, he was on top of the world. He had great friends, great future, and for us, we thought he was just in a great spot. In March of 2016, I got a call from my dad. He just said, "Jason, I don't know how to share this with you, but Jay took his own life last night." It rocked my world. I mean, it changed everything. It's weird to say something good comes out of a funeral. On the way back into town, I just said, "Hey, can you drop me off at the cemetery?" And I just spent the afternoon with Jay. That day, right there at the cemetery, I made a commitment to my buddy Jay. And my commitment was that something great, something amazing, something transformational was going to come from this tragedy. The whole idea and the whole thought behind the J Foundation is if I could have just bought my buddy Jay a pair of cowboy boots and we'd have had a real conversation around mental health, depression, and suicide, I truly feel like he'd still be with us. The most important part about a J boot is it's your reminder that you're loved, that you're valued, that you're needed and wanted here. No matter how hard things get, if we ever get to that spot Jay was in, and we've got friends, we've got family, we've got an amazing company, right? We put our J boots on and we reach out for help, and there is nothing wrong with reaching out for help.
You still like going manual on the Focus?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Genuine Aircraft Hardware Company has been holding aviation together since 1984. Nuts, bolts, screws, washers, and other fasteners fill our Billing, Montana warehouse. We also have items like tubing, hinge, gang channel, and much more. Instead of supporting the bigger guys, consider shopping small and supporting an old-fashioned small family business. Our toll-free number is 888-247-2738, and our email address is sales@genhardware.com. We look forward to helping you keep your plane in the sky where it belongs.
Special thanks to our local sponsors. Local hosts, Emblem Aviation. Presenting sponsor, Genuine Aircraft Hardware. Travel and tourism grant provided by the town of Pinedale. New Fork River level sponsor, Roseman Wagner Wealth Management. Thank you to our Boulder Creek level sponsors, Black Mountain Rental, Country Lane Gas and Liquor, Kanoko, and Rocky Mountain Power Sports. Thank you to our Willow Creek level sponsors as well, Napa Pinedale Auto Supply, White Bear Creations, Kendall Valley Lodge, Pinedale Properties, the Flying Cowboys, and Peter Sherble, State Farm, and our Pole Creek level sponsors, Abe's Aviation, Classic Aircraft Services, Tempest, Wind River Air LLC, Culpeper Creek Cattle Company, and Mike Fargo. Special thanks to our annual sponsors, Legend Aircraft, Clemens Insurance, Behringer Aero, Sarasota Avionics, Lift Aviation USA, Flying Eyes Optics, Red Tag Art, Legendary Aviation Coffee Company, iFly EFB by Adventure Pilot,
ICOM Radios,
Tundra Tailwheel, Fly Orca.
And we are back with National STOL, Rocky Mountain STOL at Pinedale, Wyoming.
Yeah. We're already kicking off. We already got the touring class done. That was like, oh, I'm so glad that's over. That was really exciting. Setting it up for tomorrow, right? You got Don Mickey, who's been part of this series from the start.
Yeah.
Right? He's out there putting on a show. And then you've got our friend John Douglas, who, of course, we have to be preferential to because he's putting on this event.
Yes.
Not actually.
He's the best.
He's great. And then we had a newcomer, DJ Holman, started at Moses Lake at the Moses Lake Air Show, and we were part of that event earlier this year. And he was he's showing folks, I think, maybe that youth. He's got the benefit of youth in terms of his fear about working that airplane into the dirt a little bit. His dad now behind him, right here in front of us, Rick Holman, going to be flying the same plane. And then behind him is a plane from the Wilderness class, which is basically the experimental version of the touring class, separated out to make things more competitive. And so the Backcountry Boss is a beast of an airplane. It's 4 seats. It's like you took a Super Cub and you made it like double wide.
Yeah.
Like a dually fuselage for a Super Cub.
Yeah.
So that's hanging out over there right now. That thing is just an absolute menace. What people are excited to see behind it is the series reveal of a 2025 Bearhawk 5 from Omaha, Nebraska, flown by John McCardle. And what I want to know is who is at the controls of the Backcountry Super Cub Boss. I believe Jared Garrettson's going to fly it this weekend. Right now, is it Brandon Korn? Because followers of National STOL for many years will know Brandon Korn and John McCardle used to fight over first place, the national title, in the touring class.
Yes.
John McCardle was flying a Maul with a turbo on it. Brandon Korn was flying a 205. Now they've both gone back to the drawing board, gotten crazy experimental airplanes, and they're back where they started. But this is the first time we're seeing John McCardle
In
this
the
year.
Bearhawk.
Yeah, in the Bearhawk this season.
The Bearhawk named Bird Dog.
Bird Dog. Yeah, we had to get that. We had to get that right.
DAWG.
So this is Rick Holman now. This is DJ's dad in the 1991 Mall MXT 7180. They're from Cresswell, Oregon. Airplane's got 180 horsepower. MT prop on the front. VG's on the wing. He's full throttle.
Letting it loose.
Ooh, see, now. Dad is very smooth.
There's some finesse in there.
He probably got all that finesse in the 80s. Okay. The Super Cub boss taxiing up to the line. I'm looking to see who's at the controls. I'm going to say that looks like Brandon Korn to me.
Yes, sir. I talked to him this morning about his trip in. He had a very interesting trip.
From Hearn, Texas. Already grabbing on for that flap handle. Yanking it down. More flaps, more flaps, more flaps. Whoa, nice and short. That plane is insane.
It's absolutely insane. I mean, think about the conditions right now, because we're used to seeing it like take off and insanely short distances for its size for any airplane, period. But that was great at this density altitude.
The moment you've been waiting for. I've been waiting all season for this.
Me too.
Look at this plane, beautifully built. He's been building it for a while. Bearhawk 5, John McCardle, tail up. Oh, that's going to be a fight tomorrow.
Oh, dang. I think the rivalry is back. I don't know that it ever went anywhere, but
we've gone from an armistice back to the war. And this is going to be exciting to see.
So we've been talking about density altitude. I have the number. It is 9,329 feet right now. That the airplanes think that they are performing, or think that they're at, essentially.
That's high.
That's so
and it's
high.
not even that hot out yet.
Yeah.
Humidity and heat, just as a review of what Cam was explaining earlier, humidity and heat are the two things you got to watch out for with density altitude. And we've got to, like for instance, like I fly the J3 Cub, you fly the Champ. Density altitude like that is maybe just going to mean no flying.
Yeah. I mean, something like this, I would, if I brought the Champ here, it would be to just watch. I would not be competing.
Dude, Bearhawk.
Yeah.
Making some noise on downwind.
Cranking out there.
We talked about that rectangle.
Yep.
That is the downwind leg because you're getting pushed, in theory, depending on which way the wind's going, but in theory, the wind is pushing behind you down and going with the wind.
Yeah.
All right. So, while you're here, folks, check out the merch booths, vendor booths. We got food trucks on site. National STOL and Rocky Mountain STOL both have their own merch booths. You can buy tickets for a one-wheel raffle at the Rocky Mountain STOL booth, and that is super cool.
Yeah, that's what makes you a STOL pilot.
Yeah, you have to have a one-wheel. I don't know how to ride one. Have you ever ridden one?
I had short lessons, and they did not end well.
Rick Holman, well over the line, gave up maybe 50 feet.
Yeah.
Maybe 75
feet. You
feet.
can see him throwing them brakes on.
Binding it up. Not messing around, though. Came in a little hot. Looks like the boss now is turning kind of like a long base to final turn off in the distance there. I was going to say, though, you and I, neither of us have successfully ridden a one-wheel, which means we're not STOL pilots. That's like definitely one of the qualifiers.
Oh, man.
I just like my collarbones. So we also want to make sure you visit Genuine Aircraft Hardware. They're one of the presenting sponsors of Rocky Mountain STOL. And their motto is, how can we help you keep them in the sky?
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's the great mission statement. visit their booth, you can actually take a picture with a life-size guy named Frank. No, it's like they've got their mascot Frank, and there's a life-size version of the mascot in the tent. So go check that out. Brandon Corn should be now on final approach, headed our way in just a minute. We are halfway through, to answer our question earlier.
Yeah.
We're halfway through the season.
All right. And we had 11 competitions. Ooh.
Oh, Brandon's doing some hot boy stuff. Was it good?
No.
No, right
Just
on the line
scratch.
almost. That plane was working, though. So much flap, so much slat, so much wing, so much power.
So much.
It is a lot. That airplane is a lot.
Oh, man.
Famous Josh Richling just kind of moseying through the booth. Oh, wow. Thank you, Josh. Just what do you do? What did you do on the live stream today? Well, we talked very briefly about rashes with Josh Richling. Okay, here comes. Oh, coming in hot for John McCardle. Now, that's going to be part of it, right? The density altitude thing that we've been talking about all day. The plane literally needs to fly faster through the air.
Yeah.
Right? Your indicated airspeed and your actual speed are different.
Yeah.
The higher you are, the higher the density altitude. So he's literally got to come in faster to keep the airplane in the air. And that's part of what we're seeing today. So that's going to be the first run. Let's check out the scores. Rick Holman, 2. Brandon Corn with a scratch, but 182-foot takeoff with that thing. That is insane. John McCardle getting it figured out, right? This is his first competition in the new plane. Combined score of 514. Over in the touring class, we wrapped things up there. Derek Holman with a combined score of 506. So actually in front currently of the wilderness class, but again, we haven't truly seen what Brandon Corn can do. Look at how big this Bearhawk 5 is.
Yeah.
The Bearhawk 5 and the Backcountry Boss.
They have to have some similar dimensions.
Nice flap application. Flap app, if you will, by Rick Holman. So let's talk about flaps, right? Watch as the Backcountry Super Cup Boss, so many syllables airplane comes to the line here. The inboard control surface on that wing are what's called flaps. If you're new to aviation, flaps create lift, but they also create drag. A little early for Brandon Cord.
Oh.
And of course, folks, that is something that we did not expect to happen. And so Brandon's going to get that aircraft under control over there. Had a bit of an issue there. Looks like the aircraft is fine under power.
Yeah, it just looks like it wasn't ready to fly. John McCardle pulling up to the line right now in the bird dog.
Brandon Corn's shutting down over there. He's going to be checking things out. Listen to that thing go.
Yeah.
Still a little early. She just kind of bounced down the runway, not quite ready to fly, maybe for 50 feet or so. Brandon's out looking at the tail of the aircraft, checking the rudder.
I don't know if he moved it or if the wind's moving it right now, but he might have a rudder.
A rudder failure, or a tail wheel failure over there.
Maybe if he's got compression springs on his. Well, no, if he had compression springs, then it should stay straight. So we'll figure it out. We'll get told what's going on with Brandon Corn right now. Rick Holman is on base, right base. right-hand turn for final. And then my view of that aircraft is obstructed by our trailer. Getting it set up, he's going to start slowing it down, getting it settled for a stabilized approach. Probably has flaps in already. He's just modulating the throttle and nursing it. Just keeping it to where he keeps as much altitude as he wants when he wants.
And so he's going to be low and just too soon on the
chop. The plop.
Yeah, the chop, plop, and drop. So this is interesting, right? At Hartford at Sodbusters, I had a chance. One of our unlimited competitors, Pat McIntyre, is a flight instructor, and he said, "Hey Ryan, do you want to, after the show, do you want to go up for a little instruction? And I could kind of show you some of the stuff that we practice before we fly. We practice at altitude before we do this down low." And he was explaining to me so I could kind of feel that behind the power curve operation that we talked about.
Yeah.
And basically what happens is, as you get the airplane nose high, that regime actually even slower. Now, this is not a slow flight competition. This is a short takeoff and landing competition, but a byproduct of being slower on final approach is you have less energy to dissipate.
Yes.
And so it was very interesting being in that Rans S7 up in the front seat, and you're slowing the plane down, you're pulling the stick back to slow the plane down even more, and at a certain point I needed to start adding power to stay in the air and go even slower.
John McCardle on final. Pretty high. He's going to be safe across the line.
That airplane is pretty high itself. Like, it just stands tall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Still waiting on update from race control on Brandon Korn's update. That run, by the way, is scratch due to loss of directional control.
Yeah.
So this behind the power curve operation is a long-winded treatise on behind the power curve by Ryan Dombrowski. So really interesting place to be. We were up about like 3,000 feet, I think. So I was stalling out of it pretty regularly, right? Like the plane would stall, I'd have to recover, climb back up, try again. Plane would stall, I'd recover. But if you spend enough time figuring it out, then the next thing to do, right, is once you've got that dialed in, these pilots will come in and they'll fly that very low approach. Looking at the tail wheel of the aircraft, looks fine.
Yeah, his compression springs are okay.
A little bit of grass hanging out in there, but that's nothing new for a bush plane. When you come in low, like Rick Holman was, well, now if you're behind the power curve and the plane stalls, you're only dropping 1 or 2 feet.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get hurt. The plane is going to bounce, and you might feel a little sheepish about it.
Yeah.
But that's how you can do that. You're going to see it, depending on the conditions, or less low, pushing, and all power they have, right?
Yeah.
All those things combined to say, I'm comfortable down here. Aircraft that aren't the best choice for that, or conditions that aren't the best choice for that, will do a more classic approach to landing, higher up, stabilized approach, descending in and just trying to target that line.
Yeah. I'm glad that you got time with Patrick.
It was a pretty incredible experience. I'm not going to lie. Felt pretty special to have, I think we logged 0.7 on the Hobbs, just a little bit less than an hour.
Okay, yeah,
And
same here.
getting some tail wheel time was good.
Yeah.
That has been a while for me. Here is Rick Holman. That was textbook.
That was excellent.
That's one that in the cockpit he probably was thinking, wow.
Oh, you know him. 5.
Yeah, he nailed that. Okay, so we've got Brandon Korn back on the line. I feel like winds, look, we've got a little bit of a crosswind now. It's blowing from the right.
Yeah.
From the pilot's perspective, folks, it's blowing from the right. Okay. He's got that right rudder in, hand on the flap handle, and that was clean and short.
Oh, and smooth. Oh, beautiful. John McCardle up next in a similarly sized aircraft to Brandon Korn. I mean, these are all Super Cup derivatives. So they're going to similarities inside the cockpit. He's got that tail up. He's going to launch himself. She wasn't quite ready to fly. But he's up and out of here. So Ryan's been talking about that slow flight regime. When you're in slow flight and at high alpha being that the nose is high, you lose a lot of authority with your ailerons.
True.
So it goes from your rolling of the aircraft, so your nose high, and if the right wing dips, you instinctively want to bring it up. But what you really should be doing is using the rudder, because at that point, it's losing airspeed over the ailerons, so they lose their effectiveness and they get mushy. You get told the controls are mushy, so you're dancing on the rudder pedals, and it's not something that is inherently instinctive, especially when you're transitioning from a tricycle gear airplane to a tailwheel airplane. They always say tailwheel pilots are like the best pilots, but
True. I will say that as someone who flies tailwheel.
Oh, yeah. The brakes. He is just smashing on the brakes.
Lexi called that one a scratch, unfortunately, but he was working for it.
Getting used to the Bearhawk being in downwind.
Just roaring.
Brandon Korn. Base final, so he's transitioning from base to.
Am I reading this right that Bearhawk has 400 horsepower?
Goodness. It's got a Lycoming 580 in it.
That's a big engine, and that may be in the top 3 for horsepower of the weekend.
Holy crap. Yeah.
We know that we've got a little bit later in the adventure class, we've got a Badlands Traveler with an unknown horsepower number, maybe up in that range. And we know that we've got Steve Henry here, but he is listed at least as making only 330 horsepower for this airplane coming in.
Nice and smooth. He gave up probably, 50 feet, maybe. He's going to get stopped really short. John McCardle on final right now. It's kind of funny because he's roaring on downwind. Of course, I mean, like, he's at lower power setting right now, of course, but it's just funny how we go from screaming to just almost silence. See his flaps deployed, what Ryan was talking about, the inboard control surfaces.
Little burst of power to get him over the line. Good over the line for McCardle. And now he's going to get heavy on the brakes and get it stopped there. Let's check in some of the scores.
We just got our...
we got our delivery of bison. I got bison this time.
I got venison.
Okay, there we go.
Yes, sir.
That's a thing. That's a thing that happens here at Pinedale at Rocky Mountain STOL. You just randomly get meat delivered to your announcer stand.
Well, basically, anywhere that Angela and John are at, they're going to provide us with some meat.
So as they taxi back, I want to talk a little bit about the other events that are going to be coming up. If you're loving National STOL, we'd love to have you join us at one of these places. We're going to be at Appalachian Mountain STOL in Clarion, Pennsylvania. That's the end of this month, August 29th and 30th. You can find Cam there. It's going to be exciting to be up in the Appalachian Mountains. Heritage STOL, remember, that was rescheduled due to really poor weather that weekend. That's at the Military Aviation Museum in Virginia Beach, Virginia, September 6th. Oklahoma STOL and Patriot Air Park in Pensacola, Oklahoma, September 19th and 20th. Music City STOL, that's a rock and roll fun time, no pun intended. Gallatin, Tennessee, October 10th and 11th. And then it all wraps up with Lone Star STOL and the National Finals, presented by American Legend Aircraft in Sulphur Springs, Texas, October 30th through November 1st. So we hope you join us. Rick Holman, giving it what for?
Oh, yes. That was excellent.
Ooh, almost settled back down, but held it up. It's such an interesting thing. It's one of my favorite things to do in flying, when you get it up into ground effect like that, and then you're pushing the nose down just the right amount so you don't descend, but the airplane starts speeding up. Just feels like cool pilot stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's even cooler when you use the trim.
And yeah, you can trim it out. Brandon Korn, 330 horsepower. The boss. Woo!
Yeah. We had a little bit, like you settled back down for a second, bounced back up. Regardless, the performance of such a large aircraft is absolutely impressive.
And there's a new sheriff in town in terms of performance, though. I mean, I don't think we've seen yet what John McCardle can do with this thing. It's his first time out. It looks way too clean. Like it's too brand new, right? And watch John McCardle in the cockpit, folks, as he flies by you. In the mall, he was renowned as being one of the most physical pilots.
Yes.
Part of it was the mall has a
Johnson
flap
bar.
handle, Johnson bar flap handle on the floor. And so he would have the yoke pushed full into the instrument panel. He'd have his right arm all the way down onto the Johnson bar to get ready to yank that thing up. And then in one fell swoop, he would put all of, talk about core strength. Look at the guy. But so he would yank back on the yoke and the Johnson bar flaps at the same time. And it was this incredibly physical ballet that he was doing in the cockpit. And just watching him now in the Bearhawk doing something very similar. Rick Holman now, Speedy Gonzalez around the corner there. Just looks like he's coming in hot. Again, that could just be our even frame of reference from lower density altitude events. He's going to be turning final now. Let's check out some of these scores. We have got really crazy off numbers. Put his best takeoff and landing combined score of 437 in practice with 188. 188-foot takeoff this high up, that is something else. We've seen this airplane lower, like in Wisconsin, doing sub 100-foot takeoffs. And here he comes now nil wind. We're like light and variable right now. Nothing pushing against the nose. Ooh, just a little short, I think, for Brandon Korn. Little burst of power wasn't enough. John McCardle, best score of 514 right now in practice. Race Control reaching out to us now. We got a little more information about the Brandon Korn situation. I'll bring that up to you in a second. Here we go. Ooh, a little bit of, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of just threw it down in there.
He's like, it's about time we flight tested these shocks. Let's see what we can do. So, report from Race Control and the Air Bosses is that a spring popped off the tail wheel. And so once you lose that spring, you're losing directional control in that direction, right? Am I understanding the mechanics of that correctly?
Yes.
So if he loses a spring, he's losing most of his directional control.
Yeah. I mean, he's got compression springs, which will allow him, it'll keep the rudder from like banging over to the side that's broken, which is very fortunate for him. But yeah, you lose. Oh,
The spring popped off.
Yeah, okay.
So that's been repaired, and he's back in the sky. Folks, we're going to take a short break. We're going to teach you a little bit more about how STOL works, and then go to a word from our sponsors. Erickson.
Takeoff and landing competitions are simple. We have the pilots here competing in separate classes to get the lowest score possible. As you see behind me, we have the start-finish line, so let's start with the takeoff. This runway is marked with a start-finish line, and as a competitor parks their main gear on the line, they apply power and position their aircraft to get off the ground as soon as possible. Once their main gear leaves the ground, a line judge will mark their takeoff score using the measuring line along the side. This score will be added to the pilot's landing score on this heat. The landing is in two parts. It's either over the line and counted, or if the pilot's main gear touches down before the line, or even touches the line, this heat score is scratched and results on a landing disqualification, and the pilot will have to rely on another takeoff and landing score to get them on the podium. A quick look at our aircraft shows we have two types of landing gear, tricycle and tail draggers. On the tail dragger aircraft, the score is marked from the two main wheels toward the front of the airplane. And for tricycle landing gear, the score is marked by the two main gear in the rear of the aircraft. It's a fierce competition out here, but at the end of the day, it's all about building better and safer pilots in the skies. It's a great day for STOL competitions. Let's get it started.
Connect with pilots worldwide. Watch your flights unfold with accurate terrain, scenery, altitude, ground speed, time, and flight path. Improving your wind situational awareness by reviewing your flight path with wind data. Invite friends to join you. Debriefing with peers is a blast. Balance striving with fun, never wasting a chance to document bragging rights, or continue to improve by connecting with pilots and instructors who inspire you. Just tap the record.
Special thanks to our annual sponsors: Legend Aircraft, Clemens Insurance, Behringer Aero, Sarasota Avionics, Lift Aviation USA, Flying Eyes Optics, Red Tag Art, Legendary Aviation Coffee Company, iFly EFB by Adventure Pilot,
ICOM Radios,
Tundra Tailwheel, Fly Orca.
And we're back at Rocky Mountain STOL in Pinedale, Wyoming at Kilo Papa November Alpha.
Good memory.
Woo,
Yeah.
yes.
We're at Ralph Wenz Memorial Airfield. We'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later, but we're gearing up for the adventure class. We don't have all of the planes for that yet. They're still flying in. But Cam, who do we have lined up right here?
It looks like we've got Jody Card, race number 92 in a 2022 Badlands Traveler. And
We may be having Mike Babcock. He's here. We'll see if he's ready to practice. But
Yep.
Mike Babcock in a 2025 Badlands STOL Traveler. The adventure class has kind of become, at least the last few events around the country, the Badlands Traveler class. They are really, we called it the shot heard round the STOL world at Moses Lake a year ago. So not this last one, but the one before that, our first time in Moses Lake, when the Badlands Traveler showed up, piloted by Jeff Daly, aircraft called Warhorse.
Yeah.
And it just changed the way we were thinking about all the way the classes were competitive. And so adventure class right now, at least this weekend, is going to be the kind of the Badlands Travelers. Jody Card, one to watch. Woo! Okay, settling down on that left main a little bit though, but that now we're getting into these really short takeoffs and landings, especially considering we're going to be talking about it all weekend, how high we are. Yeah, there's Mike Babcock coming out in his Badlands Traveler. Look at the difference between these two airplanes.
It's so squat looking. Like he's got the tires like canted out, like towed out. Like it looks formidable. And it's going to sound formidable in a second too.
It looks very different from Jody Card's airplane, right? Same basic airframe, same basic wing. Big differences on power on the front between the two. You've got the more classic Titan 340 on the front of Jody Card's airplane. You've got a Yamaha 998 Turbo. That thing is making some horsies.
Last time, like it's sitting.
Is it squatting lower? It does feel a little lower.
Yeah.
Now Jody's approach to it, you could see him on downwind down there. We love watching the fat tires hanging down off in the distance there. Part of the reason you do that is that you get more. We've been talking about that word angle of attack. You get more angle of attack off the line when you've got taller gear. Right, the airplane's just sitting with more of the wing exposed to the relative wind. So angle of attack in aerodynamics, folks, refers to the angle between the wing's cork line and the direction of the relative wind. So basically, like, how much up is the wing pointed compared to the direction of travel?
Yes.
Maybe that's an easier way to describe it.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting there at the line with super tall gear and super fat tires, the wing is already ready to make lift right away, versus an airplane like my Cessna, where the wing has zero angle of attack at rest. Right at the line, it's literally just sitting there. You would need you need to make some lift by pushing some wind over it, but the first thing it's doing is not creating as much lift as if it were a tailwheel aircraft.
Right. In which, sometimes with our pilots, you'll see them bring the tail up at the line. So it's kind of equal in that sense. If you have like you know, if you take away that angle of attack, essentially, I mean, basically what they're doing when they do that is trying to get airspeed over wings as quick as possible, and then you'll see them pull the stick back and launch into the air. When they pull the stick back is when they hit that angle of attack that's going to launch them into the air.
It's going to reintroduce it, basically, right? Yeah. And the taller your gear are and the fatter your tires are, the more angle you can get before the tail hits the ground.
Yeah.
Here comes Jody Card on the right. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. This is what we came to see. It's going to be too short.
Too short.
But that was a fun thing to watch.
Yeah, it was very
style points all around.
Out the wazoo.
Mike Babcock should be coming around the bend in just a second here. And we're going to see a different approach to the same airplane. That engine that he's got on the front, you're going to see that engine a little bit later today, again on Steve Henry's aircraft. It makes an insane amount of horsepower, and it is truly an experimental approach to power plant. You can hear it. We can hear it before we can see it here in the booth.
All right.
Look at the springs he's got on those gears. I feel like that's new too. Just added more springs on it. He definitely had a landing at Sodbusters where he came in the old chop, plop, and drop, and I believe those gear compressed to their full max.
Yeah, they were splayed open so much. It was wild.
So that's going to be fun to watch tomorrow, the two of them together. It is fun to see the same airplane dressed up two different ways. As they taxi by, we should talk about one of our sponsors, Cam. We should talk about our friends over at Red Tag Art. You know these guys, yeah?
Yeah, I do know Mr. Kelsey. I mean, he's known for, he's got an awesome eye. And the fact that he's making things like aircraft engine, like nacelle tables and taxiway lights that are candles and everything, like Red Tag Art is absolutely amazing.
So you can go over to get a custom project started at redtagart.com. That's redtagart.com. They're doing the annual trophies for the whole series again this year, too, which is really exciting.
He is unmatched on trophies. So, like, if you're watching right now and you want awards for whatever competition you've got going on, like a aviation-related competition, or maybe not, maybe you want a cool aviation award for whatever you've got going on, Red Tag Art, hit up Kelsey. He's making something absolutely amazing.
Jody Card kicking up some dust, pushing that stick forward. He's going to get the tail up. Boom, use all that angle of attack. Cam and Ryan's not a flight school before, explaining all the aerodynamics is we're not flight instructors. We're definitely not your flight instructor, but hopefully our nerdiness is rubbing off on you. Want to be an airplane nerd too. Now, it does look strange.
It looks so.
And there is some, like, is that camber? Would you call it when you lean it in like that? It's like very race car-y.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to say it's toe out, but when I think about toe out, I'm thinking about like the F-18, like rudders when it's at rest.
Yeah.
Or toe in. Wow.
Some backfire action there. Just tickling the grass there. Wow. Okay, no, I was right. It is camber. So camber refers to the inward or outward tilt of a wheel when viewed from the front or the rear. I think toe in and toe out is the other axis.
Yeah, the vertical axis.
So here's what's interesting about Mike Babcock, too, this Yamaha engine. At Hartford, he actually blew up one of those engines. And that's what I mean with the experimental side of these engines. Like, that engine failed. He had to come in dead stick and land there. When you have these high-performance engines, it takes a lot of extra person power to be effective, right? So he had a whole team of people. They swapped the engine, decided they weren't quite ready to bring it back into competition, which is the safe choice. But if you notice, like Steve Henry also running those Yamaha engines. Crew chief Josh Richling was just walking through the booth, right? You need that team of people to help you excel to that next level of experimental aviation. And we got two Badlands on downwind there. Jody Card on your right against the Wyoming sky. Mike Babcock on the left. Sarasota Avionics, they're a Garmin dealer and #1 aircraft for panel mount GPS avionics systems. They offer Garmin prizes to our competitors. They're going to be distributed to the annual award winners at the end of the year. So big thanks to Sarasota Avionics. The other folks we want to make sure we thank are our friends at Legend Aircraft. We're going to be at their home at the end of this season. They make that whole last hurrah of STOL for the year happen. The Legend Cub continues to be the most coveted American manufactured sport aircraft. It's a modern Legend, and those who have flown one consider the Legend Cub to be the most gratifying recreational aircraft in the skies today. So today's Legend Cub is an all-new factory-built aircraft designed in the spirit of the legendary Piper J3, the PA-11, the P-18 Super Cub. Combines the best from the past with an obtainable wish list of modern enhancements. American Legend Aircraft Company has engineered in all of the safety, comfort, and convenience options imaginable. You can learn more at legend.aero. Cam.
Right. Yeah.
Here comes Jody Card.
In the Badlands Traveler. High alpha. Flap support. Working the rudder. You can see him just wagging back there. He's gonna plop it in. And that, I want to say, is one of our shortest landings so far today. We'll get a number for you in just a moment. You can hear
just like a chainsaw.
It does sound like a chainsaw.
Sky chainsaw.
Yeah.
Here he comes, Mike Babcock.
Cutting up the air.
Ooh. Working those gear. The whole plane's just leaning to the left.
Yeah, favoring the left on that landing. The left wing dropped a little, so he's taxiing now, and it looks like it's okay.
Isn't that interesting how the shocks are like adjusting as they get a little motion under them? A lot of great conversation, Cam, in the chat, online chat. By the way, folks, if you want to participate, you can go to YouTube, Facebook, watch the live stream. You can see some of the different conversations that are happening. You can also ask us questions. So Catherine Ray saying, we add a lot of camber in our figure 8 race cars, so spot on with the race car reference. That's the first thing I thought when I saw this. Bubbles weighing in on Mike Babcock's engine. Sounds a little lean. Sounds lean. Just checking out some other things here. MP Troll saying, how's the dust out there? It looks hot and dusty. Not too bad. I think it's hot. It's getting hot.
Yeah.
But
hasn't been extremely dusty. I mean,
yeah, a little bit. Jody Card on the line. Oh, that was a competitive takeoff by Jody Card. Look at that. That was nice and clean. Race control letting us know, by the way, that Babcock is out. He's going to go back to the ramp. I noticed when he taxied by here, the aircraft was standing much taller.
Yeah. It looked
around the campfire tonight and see what's what.
Do I hear a Huey? I can't hear a Huey. There's no
You
way.
might be hearing a Huey right now. So Jody Card's going to go around the pattern here to get his practice in. Reminder, we're just looking, where's that flappy sound coming from? It's just got to be right behind this.
Yeah.
If you in the crowd can see it, is it a Huey back there? You see it? It's a Huey?
All right, we got thumbs up.
Thumbs up, Huey. All right, cool. Rock on. That means we have to play Fortunate Son on the speakers right now. So, folks, it's a good reminder, by the way, now is a good time to vote for your favorite pilot, nationalstol.com/vote. It's the Ralph Wenz People's Choice Award here at Rocky Mountain Stol. Go to nationalstol.com/vote. And this airport is named after Ralph Wenz. Ralph is a local hero, Sergeant Ralph Wenz, from October 1948. This aircraft serves as a reminder of his impact on aviation and the local community. Several members of the Wenz family come out to the show every year, and they will have the privilege of presenting that People's Choice Award at the completion of competition tomorrow. They actually provide a generous cash prize for the People's Choice Award, so make sure you vote because it literally does matter. Ralph Wenz was born in Nebraska. He's a pioneering aviator and businessman who played a significant role in developing aviation in Wyoming. That passion for aviation was built while they homesteaded, we know today as Shelter Park. He's a mountain man, enjoyed nature, and loved his children. First job in Pinedale was actually working as a barber, and his passion for aviation continued as World War II broke out. He was past combat age when he enlisted, so he joined the U.S. Army Air Corps as an instructor and a test pilot. He was killed in a crash while testing cold weather equipment in Alaska, December 21st, 1943. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh!
Okay, yeah.
Yes, textbook chop, plop, and drop. Jody Card. What was that? It just snuck up on me, too. He's just like hanging it all out. When we talk about behind the power curve, right, the only thing keeping that airplane in the air was the throttle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely insane.
He's going to taxi by us, tail up.
Woo!
Style points.
Cooking with gas there.
Yeah, you got a little tailwind.
I guess
back
he
there.
wants to go. He wants to go again.
Okay, let's do it.
So he's trying to keep it tight for us. While he does that, just to finish our story about Ralph Wenz, a great contributor to aviation in Wyoming and, of course, the Pinedale community. It's going to be the third annual Ralph Wenz People's Choice Award that honors his remarkable legacy and celebrates the spirit of aviation excellence that he embodied. Okay, speaking of aviation excellence, Jody Card giving us a dose of that on that takeoff.
Yes. Some superior airmanship from Jody Card. While you were enlightening us about Ralph Wenz, he was on short final, and he did a little swoop-de-doo, like the wind was blowing. You could tell that it shifted on him, so he had to nose into the. That'll be some exciting footage to look at afterwards.
Well, he goes around the bend. Cam, do you want to talk a little bit about Fly Orca, our friends there? That's you've got a friend at Fly Orca.
Yeah, I think she is basically the co-owner of Fly Orca, Miss Adriana. Basically, she has an app. Essentially, you log in, you log your flight, so it's recording your flight, and then you share it in the app, and based on that, you can connect with other pilots. You can connect with other instructors. I mean, maybe you're someone like us who you really want to be well, we're already tailwheel pilots, but you want to be a tailwheel pilot, but there's no one around you or you don't know of anybody around you. That app will help you find a good flight instructor that will cater to your needs as a pilot and what you want to do with aviation.
Really cool app, really fun to use. It's going to help you achieve your aviation goals and build community as well at the same time. And I think that's actually the hardest part about getting a start in aviation is finding your community of people. It's easy to feel on the outside of aviation, especially when you've got a big old fence at some of the bigger airports keeping you out. And so, look at that. Coming around base to final, Jody Card with the style points.
Yeah.
Getting blown. It looks like we're shifting from that light wind right down the runway to a right crosswind, and I bet winds aloft are starting to pick up a little bit.
You can see him wagging his tail feathers. Ooh. Wow.
Big bounce.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, so look at the textbook application. I watched him push the throttle in just a little bit there with his left hand. He pulled the throttle out. You could tell he was looking right at where the line was, reached up to the flaps, and just killed him, right? Just killed the flaps. That removes all that remaining lift. The scores coming out of this right now, Jody Card, folks, he just put down a 92-foot takeoff. And we're waiting for the score to come in on that landing. That was a solid one. His best combined score so far of practice, 225 feet. Mike Babcock, best score so far of the 2 runs he did in practice, 438 feet. This next one, considerably shorter on the takeoff, waiting for the number to come in on the landing. I'm going to vamp as long as I can because I've built the tension as the judges put the score in, hopefully soon, folks. A 92-foot takeoff. Where is the landing going to come in? We don't know, Cam. It could be any number. Any number could be entered into the spreadsheet at any minute to see if it is shorter than 200 feet combined. The previous takeoff and landing were 144-foot takeoff, an 81-foot landing. We've got a 92-foot takeoff and a number that we are still waiting for to come in here in practice at Pinedale, Wyoming. Felt like I was doing a filibuster there for a second.
You're doing it.
That score not coming in yet. We're going to go to commercial real quick. We're going to bring that score to you when we come back from a word from our sponsors.
Sarasota was created actually back in the 70s, but we and Bert and Vince, my 2 partners, they've sold their business to Ryan and Sean, which is my 2 other partners now. We started around in 1999, 2000, just had one little spot in this hangar, and we've built it up from there. So we've been here for 23 years now. So, and then we have 5 facilities now here in the state of Florida. First starts in Tampa, Sarasota. Venice here is our main headquarters, and we have Punta Gorda and then Fort Lauderdale, Lantana. Then we have partners in Brazil, South Africa, Greece, Tullahoma, Tennessee, all over the world. We're the largest Garmin dealer in the world. So that's probably what we've been known for. So we do more installs on aircraft, general aviation, anything really under 10,000 pounds than anybody else in the world. So, and we've been that for quite a few years now. So.
What's up, Av Geeks and Stol Freaks? Welcome to Lone Star Stol here in beautiful Sulphur Springs, Texas. It's Luke Spohr, everybody, 2019 American Legend Aircraft BOAC. A round of applause for Chuck Olmstead. In the gray and orange BOAC, Brian Shirley, everybody. Give a round of applause for Brian Steck. The Beast Mode BOAC, Colin Kaneva.
showing that he deserves to belong here. Whoa, that was legendary.
We've had it in all of our airplanes. Ever since we started with the Piper Saratoga in the early 2000s. We did the pulse oximeter and CO detector in there. We've upgraded to there. Now we have a Cessna 340 that I actually was talking to him in Germany last year, and he was like, oh, you got to put the cabin altitude thing in the plane. I said, well, send it to me. So we put it in there, and it actually is really nice. This aircraft flies above 18,000, 10,000 feet, so up to 23,000 feet. The other day, the cabin altitude light comes on the manufacturer's panel, and boom, the CO Guardian comes on and says, all right, you're above 10,000, your cabin altitude is above 10,000 feet. So watch out. So it's kind of nice to have that redundancy in the plane. So for a pressurized aircraft, that is so important for me. I get that oxygen mask ready, make sure my oxygen is good.
Illustrious than me in the booth with us, but I just want to, before we introduce our fabulous, beautiful, wonderful, amazing guest.
Yes, who's also a host.
Who's also a host. We are still waiting for that score from the last landing for Jody Card.
Yeah.
We may never know.
I don't think we're ever going to
We
find out.
may never know what that score is. It's gonna be in the ether. And I think that maybe what happens is the three of us get to decide what the score is. So I'm going to say it was 1 foot. This is one. It had to be 1 foot, 1 foot landing.
All right. I'm good with
Down.
that.
So, folks, she's sitting here so patiently. Angela Douglas is here next to us, and she is one of the hosts of Rocky Mountain STOL. Thank you so much for coming into the booth with us, the tent.
Oh, my pleasure.
And we were just talking before the break wrapped up. I was saying, how's it going? You said it's going really well. We're having a really good day. I wonder if you could talk to us a little bit about just the folks that help bring this. I mean, obviously you and John and Kathy and Bruce all work together to make this thing happen, but it takes more than that. It takes literally a village.
Well, in the beginning, I would start working on Rocky Mountain STOL about 4 months out, 5 months out. Now it's kind of a year-round adventure.
Yeah.
But it's easier that way when you spread it out over time. And the beautiful thing about the 4th year is when I make a phone call, say, to a hotel, as soon as I say Rocky Mountain STOL, they know exactly what I'm talking about, and they're offering me a room block. And how does this rate sound? And it's just so different than groveling at the beginning.
That's incredible. You're trying to explain what it is year one. You're like, okay, so here's the thing. There's these things called airplanes. We have an airport in town. Everyone probably knows about the airport. We were talking about, I went to the clinic this morning, and they knew. They're like, you're in town for that thing? I'm like, yeah. They're like, it's pretty cool. They're like, yeah, maybe I'll bring my kids out. Like, everyone was excited about it. They all knew about it. So...
Yes, you don't have to. They're like STOL. What STOL?
Yeah, what's STOL?
Short takeoff and landing. So yeah, it's been great. The growth is wonderful. The support of our year after year sponsors like Napa, who provided this canopy, they have supported us. They were our very first sponsor ever, and every year they're the very first check to come in the mail, and we just appreciate them so much. And then there's brand new people like Ridley's. That was exciting and new, and the Roseman Wagner Wealth, those are brand new. This minute, the Pinedale Properties jumped in and sponsored our dinner last night. We appreciate all of them.
Done. And while we continue to talk, I just want to make sure we've got some airplanes getting ready to go here in the Cub class, and you're going to have to help us announce these airplanes as they come around. We've got Ryan Melendez up front in Goldie, that PA-18 that's sitting there waiting to fire up. We've got Chadwick Wirtz in a 2008 Cub Crafters Sport Cub. And then I can't see around the trailer here, but I believe we also have Michael Sisk, who's going to be flying a 1953 Piper Super Cub. So that's like quintessentially the Cub class, right?
Yeah.
We've got old and new. We've got some 1953, 1954 vintage aircraft competing against a relatively new one, that Cub Crafter Sport Cub. But we're going to see them. Also interesting, we've got Michael Sisk is from Alpine, Wyoming, so closer than the rest. Chadwick and Ryan, both from California, San Diego and San Jose. So that's really cool to see them make that trip all the way up.
Yeah.
San Diego, that's a haul.
That is a haul.
So anyway.
But did you know that Michael Sisk is an orthopedic surgeon?
That's good to know.
Yes.
Now I can break at least one bone while I'm here, and I'll be A-okay.
I'm going to step in.
Which one? I've never broken a bone. Is that weird?
Let's not.
Let's not make it.
Let's not.
Let's not make that a first. So, looks like the Air Boss is getting ready to fire things up and get ready to go here for the Cub class. Just waiting on a few things before they're released. Angelo, who else has really been instrumental in making this possible? I mean, we said it takes a village. I mean, Pinedale, Wyoming, population of just over 2,000 people, to throw in an event of this size.
Well, I would give a big shout out to Genuine Aircraft Hardware. They're our banner sponsor. And my initial email to them was because I saw Frank, their mascot, online. So I actually wrote my email to Frank and invited him to Rocky Mountain STOL. And she called me up laughing and said, Frank would love to come. Can we be your banner sponsor?
Awesome.
Oh,
It was awesome.
Okay, Ryan Melendez, getting that tail nice and high. We sometimes say we're mowing the lawn a little bit there. Not actually, but it's fun to say that way. Nice and short there. He's going to get dialed in. I think he was flying around a little bit last night, too, I saw.
Yeah, saw him flying a little bit last night.
Get a little pre-practice in. Here is Chadwick.
In the Sport Cub. Same aircraft that we've seen Kelly Qualls in.
So, very much comparable to the PA-18.
Yeah.
Flaps as opposed to J3, and he's got those flaps in, not ready to, there he goes. So this is the thing, right? You got to think about, you add those flaps, you get some more lift, you get a little more drag. This does not look like Michael Sisk.
That does not look.
This looks like our rookie class competitor, I think. Let's check the N number here. Yeah, that's Nathan Grimes at a 2004 Rans S7 right here from Pinedale. So everyone's got to cheer real loud as Nathan Coles.
Yeah, he's getting it done. I talked to him last night at the pilot's dinner, and he's very excited to compete.
And so it looks like we've had a power failure for Nathan there, and he's just going to ride it out.
Dude, he's doing the Bob Hoover right now.
Doing the Bob Hoover. But look at how great that was, because he knows, because he's thinking of like a true pilot, right? Even though he's a rookie in this competition. Oh, if I can get off the runway, I should, because I've got aircraft that are in the pattern that will be coming around, and if we can keep the landing area clear, we can keep it safe. So no takeoff for Nathan. We'll figure out what happened there. Here comes Ryan Melendez now.
And
Goldie.
Flaps deployed, thank you. Yes.
The preschoolers loved Goldie.
Oh, that's awesome. Did they get the tour?
They got the tour yesterday, and they chose Goldie over Hal.
Oh, no, Hal. Well, Hal's got too many weird things hanging off that airplane.
They were concerned his plane was broken.
Yeah, maybe it could be. And Ryan is a full-time pilot now, and he's got such an inspiring story of overcoming adversity in his life. And so someone to talk to. If you're here on the ramp, go talk to Ryan after he's practicing. If you can go over and meet the pilots later today. They all want to share their story. The joke, right? How you know someone's a pilot? Well, they're going to tell you. Ryan's really solid dude. I think we saw him for the first time in Oregon, right?
Yep.
And then he was at Moses Lake, and he's been kind of hanging out at a lot of these events now.
He's part of the family now.
Caught the bug.
Sucked into the vortex.
Yeah.
Well, what was it like for you and you and John to get sucked into the vortex? Because this is something now we're fourth year of doing this, and I remember meeting you would have been back at Hartford. at Sodbusters a couple years ago, and like you threw some meat in my face and said, "We've got this thing in Wyoming. It's really beautiful up here. You should come check it out." Like, how did that happen? How did that?
That was John's dream, and he took me to an event in California. I think it was Outlaw STOL, and he said we could totally do this in Wyoming, and we didn't know what to do. Our first year we were not part of the national circuit, but I guess we caught their attention and they invited us to join it, and we've become addicted.
Yeah, and it's fun watching John compete all over. Little burst of power now on the right here from Chadwick.
Yep. He's going to give up almost 200 feet, maybe a hair less or so.
Yeah, gave up a lot getting it over the line. You heard all those applications of power. Part of what happens, folks, is if you're not feeling truly stable at the end, particularly in any aircraft, but also in a tailwheel airplane, you can give those little bursts of power to kind of cushion your descent. And I think that's what you're seeing there is a little bit of like power, slow it down, power, slow it down, like trying to get it down there. So there goes Goldie taxing by.
Beautiful.
Still no word on what's going on with our friend in the S7. It looks like it's under power now. You got
Nathan going to be part of this competition. Aircraft is for sale, and I told him doesn't sell until after the event, and he just smiled at me.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I met him last night at the pilots' dinner and talked to. Is he married? Is that his wife?
Yes, his wife's with him.
Yep. Talked to them, and
he's got some cute kids.
Yeah, they were really excited to compete today, and can't wait to see what he's got going for us. As Chadwick's taxiing by us, his covering for his bungees are looking a little fun.
That's all right. It'll buff out. Looks like, so just checked with race control. So a couple things. Checking for FOD, foreign object debris. That's what we're going to do just to check the runway here. The other thing that we're going to be doing is the runway. So you see, if you watch these flags, the feather flags of all our annual sponsors and our sponsors from the event. Here we got the Emblem Aviation flags up.
Yes.
They've moved, so now the wind is pushing the back of the airplane. That's a tailwind. Not the greatest thing. I mean, you can work with a tailwind on takeoff. We don't want that for competition. We want to make sure we're heading into the wind as much as possible for safety. So we're going to be switching from 1-1 over to 2-9. It's going to take just a few minutes, folks, while we switch that runway. That's fine, though, because I'm pretty sure Angela's just going to keep us entertained for the whole time. Anyone else we want to thank for their support of the event?
Yes, Peter Sherbill from State Farm is another brand new sponsor. I'm excited to have them on board. I believe they're going to be out here tomorrow, coming to see for themselves how wonderful the event is. And then I have a family member, Mike Vargo. I've been trying to get him to help me get his company that he was working for to be a sponsor. And he got frustrated and he said, "How about if I just sponsor you myself? Is that okay?" I said, "That's okay with me."
That's okay, yeah.
And Classic Air, KBFF, I love their identifier. They're in Nebraska. We land there quite often when we're flying that direction. We take them out to dinner, they take us out to dinner, and from time to time we throw it out there. How about you sponsor our event? And Jeff came out last year and he actually volunteered and he enjoyed the event so much he jumped on board as a sponsor this year. So that's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And isn't that the fun part of the community too, right? Like if you weren't part of aviation, those aren't people you would have met.
Well, we actually met Jeff a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
In college.
Okay, but so you get what I'm saying, though. Like you pop into an airport,
yes.
And you stop there when you're traveling that way. It's just a unique way to make friends and meet people.
Have you been to KBFF?
No.
Well, they have really good cookies.
Oh.
And his daughter-in-law makes them from scratch.
What?
for the FBO.
Are those
Yes.
those awesome oatmeal cream pie-ish cookies that we got?
No,
Oh,
this
okay.
is in Nebraska.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
The oatmeal cream pies are from a local baker here.
Okay.
And you need to stop by the VIP tent tomorrow because there's some homemade chocolate chip cookies. They're probably the best ones you're going to ever eat in your life. Made by
Okay.
my daughter.
Twist
Okay.
our arms.
Yeah.
Twist our arms.
Would you like me to deliver them to you?
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't turn that down. That sounds amazing. It's funny. I feel like every state has one airport that's like known for their cookies.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, it's Watertown.
Okay.
And literally, when I don't know if they still do it. When I was doing my pilot training, I'd be around in the J3 Cub, and I'd fly over Watertown, I'd tune into the frequency just to see what's going on before I fly over, and I would hear this nice voice, and she would say, "Aircraft approaching Watertown. You know, the cookies are fresh. Here's the weather. You're welcome to stop in if you'd like a cookie."
Ooh, that's service.
And I would not usually land there. I would just miss the cookies because I was on a training mission or something. But I thought that was really great that she would just keep tabs on who's around and invite them in for some cookies, and they're
That
pretty
is
good.
cool.
Yeah, so there you go. What do we have? What's the next few years of Rocky Mountain STOL? I mean, I know we're halfway through this weekend's event-ish. But what do the next few years look like for you and the team as you continue to build it?
Well, we like to add extra features for the family members that we want them to come, right? But sometimes they get bored. And so this morning, we organized a hike to Sacred Rim. It's a breathtaking view. It's a 3.5-hour hike. You go up in elevation over 500 feet.
Whoa, okay.
And then from there, they can go down, and they have the option to come back over here or to head on to Half Moon for the paint and sip. So we do need to rearrange our schedule a little bit because I know some of the staff would love to do the paint and sip. So we might move that later in the day and just try to shuffle things around to get as many people as possible able to participate in the extra activities.
Sure.
And of course, tonight's the concert in the park.
It's going to be great.
Keep that going. Yep. Are you familiar with armchair boogie?
No, but I think I'm going to learn tonight, right?
You're going to learn tonight.
All right.
Okay. We are going to take a quick little break, folks, as we get this runway reset and things ready to go to continue practice of the Cub class. Let's go to a little video. We were talking about Ryan Melendez. He's got a charity called Warriors with Wings. Let's learn a little bit more about that.
Perfect.
Montgomery Tower, Warrior Flight 1, holding short of 2 right for a straight up departure. Warrior Flight 1 will be the first ones out. You excited? Yeah. So now we're just waiting for the tower to release us for takeoff.
Okay.
My name is Dylan Cavender. I'm 17 years old.
I'm Kai Matavolo and I'm 14.
My name is Meyer Turchin. I'm 14. I was diagnosed with leukemia, AML.
I was 5 when I was diagnosed with leukemia.
I was diagnosed with leukemia.
My name is Ryan Melendez and I'm the founder of Warriors with Wings. When I was 17 years old, I was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
So when Ryan took me for the first time, I thought it was just gonna be like chill, like we're just gonna fly, like nothing crazy, but it turned out to be something way crazier and so much fun.
Flying's sick, so I got to fly most of the way back until we got close to the runway. Eventually, I'd definitely be interested in getting a pilot's license or something like that. Maybe not for like a job, but just to have for fun. You just see everything. It's sick because everything's so small, but like you're only at we were at 1,400 about like max, so you can still see everything because when you're in an airliner or stuff, you're really high up, you can't see much.
All right, do it yourself. Go back. Go back, go back. Hard, 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 hard. Keep pulling. Push forward hard. Whee! Pretty good.
He was super excited to come and be a part of this wonderful day. I was having a blast being out here flying today. I don't think he ever really thought about flying or what that meant before. I think like the closest he came to really being in like a small plane or helicopter was on his Make-A-Wish trip, and he fell asleep in the helicopter.
Everyone's gonna get their first logbook. So
Sweet.
There you go. And then we're gonna fill out all the airplanes you flew, and we'll get you signed off since we're all CFIs. So, and then we'll get you guys all t-shirts once we get some of those made. They'll sign you off for the airplanes they flew you in. You need to get your pilot's license, 40 hours of flight instruction, or 40 hours of flight time total. Some of that has to be with us, and then at some point you guys, once we feel like you can fly the airplane yourself, we set you free and you go off and do some hours by yourself.
It's just that easy.
It's just that easy.
Couple more days like this, you go fly an airplane by yourself, you're good to go. You're almost there.
All right, perfect. I'll steal the pen.
And folks, we are back at National STOL, Pinedale, Wyoming.
Rocky Mountain STOL.
Yeah.
Done. We're at practice. Heated practice is what we call it. We've had some heat in the practice. We've had some fun things happen. Jody Card, man, putting on a clinic. Mike Babcock stretching those legs out. And we've got some Cub pilots just waiting for their turn at practice. We're getting things switched around. It looks like there's a judges meeting happening right now. That's part of practice too, right? It's not just for the pilots, it's also for the judges. For us, it's a little bit of practice for us before we turn it up that extra notch to 11 in the broadcast. We say the broadcast booth, now the broadcast tent, provided by Napa. Thank you, Napa, keeping us in the shade here. I want to talk a little bit before we move on about Ryan Melendez's charity, Warriors with Wings. I mean, you heard about it there. It's just, I think if you're looking for something to, I mean, there's a lot of different charities that you could give to. I think if you're passionate about aviation, I think Ryan's charity is a great one to consider. We've got another one that we have to talk about in just a second, based on what Cam and I have on our feet. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Yep. But just something really special to do. So go check that out. Maybe you got a minute right now as we're flipping runways. You can open a little Google tab up if you're watching online or if you're in the crowd there and learn a little bit more about Warriors with Wings and all the good work that Ryan's doing there.
Now, hasn't Ryan been the consistent winner of the People's Choice Award?
Well, yeah, that's true. Yes. So that's another thing. You've got the Ralph Wenz People's Choice Award, and Ryan has been doing quite well. He's got, we were talking about before, a good smile.
He does.
And I think a good smile goes a long way.
Yeah.
And a supportive mother.
And a very supportive mother. And you're nothing if you don't have a great mom in your corner. And Ryan's got a great team in his family behind him. So we've got some other folks we need to talk about that bring this event together again as we wait for everyone to fire up here. There's some folks that have donated some items, Angela, that we might want to talk about.
Right. Well, it was a little bit of a heart attack when Karen emailed me a 3-page list of items that were lost with the trailer that needed to be borrowed or somehow replaced at our event. But we met the challenge, and I was kind of at a loss of what to do about she asked for an air-conditioned trailer.
Right.
I put it out on Sublet for Sale on Facebook, and within minutes, I had 3 trailer offers.
There you go.
But the one that worked out the best was Phil Belleville. They're the local body shop, and unfortunately, we see them from time to time with our rental cars. So we bring them business, and they stepped up and hauled this air-conditioned trailer out for Tom. I'm sure he's very appreciative of that.
Yeah, so the trailer right next to us, again, provided by Phil. Thank you, Phil, for that. We did lose the normal broadcast trailer in an accident and trailer fire a little bit ago. If you've been following National STOL, you've heard that story. And as we rebuild, it's so nice to have folks in our corner who are helping us make everything happen, event and event, so we can keep doing this even though we've got to kind of rebuild and build up to everything. So that's amazing.
Well, the other thing that people seem to love to do is give to our pilots. And so we've plugged in some pilot raffles. We do that at our opening dinner, and we do that at our closing dinner. So we have a lot of fun stuff to hand out and pass out raffle, I guess. And we have so much this year that we actually saved some of our raffle items for our volunteers. So who knows, maybe you guys will win.
Ooh.
Yeah,
cool stuff,
that'd be
Ryan?
cool. I don't know. I didn't know I could get cool stuff.
I thought it was conflict of interest for us.
Oh, well.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, we'll
I'll
see.
take some free stuff, some free cool stuff.
Well, we handed out all the gift certificates last night. So the Cowboy Shop, the China Gourmet, Los Cabos, and Mallards, Wildflower. Now, Wildflower, I forgot to mention last night, they design our T-shirts.
Oh, cool.
So John and I put our heads together and come up with like the slogan of the year, but then she takes that and runs with it, and she does such a beautiful job. So she gave a $50 gift card to her place. Fremont Peak is basically Bruce and Kathy. Emblem Aviation is John and I and Micah. And the J Foundation put together a nice basket.
And that's what I was hinting at, the J Foundation last year. Cam and I got to come out and actually go through a J Foundation presentation to learn about how that foundation works to help folks with mental health.
Exactly.
And make sure everyone's checking in on each other, being our brothers' keepers, brothers and sisters' keepers. And that was really great. So I will give credit to Cam. I was packing, and he said, "Don't forget your boots." And I was like, "Oh, you're right. I can't forget my boots." So we're both wearing our J boots right now. That's a great story as well. You can learn more about that online.
Well,
and
you kind of ruined the surprise maybe a little bit.
Oh.
If the pilots are paying attention, because the first place in every class gets to do the J-boot experience.
No way.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's
did
really
spoil.
awesome.
Well, that's really cool.
They weren't paying attention. It's okay.
Yeah, no one's paying attention. Yeah, no one's paying attention right now. Such an impactful day.
Right.
Going through that experience, and it culminates with, you get a sweet pair of boots at the end, but that's not what it's about, right?
No.
It's about learning how to check in, learning kind of a for lack of a better term, like a cautionary tale about how we can all be together and work together to take care of each other. And it was what was, I think, surprising and emotional for me was we were sitting there, and one of the steps, there's this pledge you take to check in on a handful of people in your life that you think maybe just need a check-in, just like a hey, how you doing? It's a boot check is what it's called in the J Foundation literature and in the way that they kind of teach it. And doing those boot checks, I checked in on 3 different people that I thought needed them, and one of them was like, I'm hurting today.
Oh,
Yeah.
And so to have that, like, I wouldn't have checked in if it weren't for that experience, right? Now that person to make sure they're okay, and just checking in. But that is, it's a really good reminder of the support we need to give to each other to make sure we're all doing all right. It's a hard time sometimes.
Everyone struggles.
Yeah. Everyone does sometimes. Speaking of struggling, not to make light of it, but there's a plane struggling to get started over there.
Yeah,
no.
it's got a
which
battery issue.
Might be waiting on that as well. So
Getting hand propped right now.
anyway, I don't mean to make light of it by joking with the plane, but I think that's just something really special. That's being another special thing here in Pinedale that the J Foundation's doing like really good work, and it's work that Cam, you took it home, I took it home to Milwaukee. Like, it's spreading just by virtue of that effort being put in. So
Well, it's spreading so much that Julie Mackey can't even join us this weekend.
I know.
But she's done an amazing job of delegating and growing some really good ambassadors. So we will have a booth tomorrow of high school students at her booth, just representing and keep spreading the word.
that's great. Little update. It looks like we weren't able to get the Super Cub started up.
Mr. Chad's Super Cub.
Yeah, so it's going to get the old push down the taxiway here to get it out of the way. And I love, like, look at the camaraderie here. You got the who's who of STOL Aviation pushing that airplane down the runway. Little round of applause here if you're in the crowd for
there you go.
Getting her off, getting her moving. Not the way you want to be moving down,
no.
But everyone's working together there. Yeah, it's just like, yep. Hey guys, we're gonna get a new battery in this puppy. And that's part of it too. The part of the aviation thing is the being able to count on each other to.
Well, I happen to know a good aircraft mechanic in the neighborhood.
I think so.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe they're gonna push it right down there, down to Emblem, right, and get that all sorted out. Before we move on with stuff, Angela, anyone else we need to thank for bringing this together this weekend? I mean, like we said, it's been such an amazing effort.
Yes. Something new that you'll see tomorrow. Ira Walker had a little mini dream of his own. He wanted to see a brochure handed out, and it turned out pretty nice. I have the local gal at Office Outlet. She's designed it. She put our logo on the front, and the inside cover has the Ralph Wenz story. The third page is the lineup, so people can see and kind of keep track of things as they go. I know you have that on your phone, but this is going to be a paper in your hand. And then as you flip through there, you have all the pilots' faces, their N numbers, where they're from, and at the end, a list of my sponsors.
Great. That's can't go wrong with that.
That's absolutely awesome.
Something new.
Looks like Ryan's got her fired up, ready to go here in the Cub class practice section of Rocky Mountain STOL.
Flying solo.
Those brochures, I think I have one from Ira, but not from that. I have one from the Cowl Air Museum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which is super awesome. He's a part of that amazing organization for the Cowl Air aircraft. Keeping it alive. Ryan Melendez. Pull the stick back.
Nice one by Ryan Melendez. It was golden.
Yeah.
So and he's going to do this tight Cub pattern for us so we can get through the rounds of his practice and give the other pilots a chance to get at this thing. Let's see here. Let's go over to the Cub class. We did just have the one takeoff and landing. He was at a combined score of 521. Chad, we did not get a complete score for him. He did take off in 273.
All right.
So competitive with Ryan's first takeoff. He's got a bit more wind now. You'll notice also we were saying we're going to flip the runway, and then during those mechanical issues that we were sorting out, the wind flipped back. We do not have to flip the runway. We've got a pretty direct crosswind from the right for Ryan, and look, you'll see him drop that right wing into the wind a little bit to correct for that. Landing with the brakes.
Just lock. Yeah. Oh, that was awesome. Goldie's such a good-looking airplane, too.
So that was a nice run. I want to say hi to a couple of folks in the chat. MP Troll, I'm assuming like a very positive person, but joking about giving Chad's airplane a push start.
Yeah.
Very funny. Also want to say hi to Mike Hartig, who couldn't be here this weekend. He said, I wish I could have been up there this weekend, would have loved to compete, but sadly I'm stuck at my desk at work watching. So sorry to hear that, but we'd love to have you here.
Next year.
Yeah, come on next year.
Please.
Also want to say hi to Brian, the Colorado Flyer. Thanks for the shout out, Brian. Happy to be here. He also couldn't make it this weekend. He's got a brand new sling he just built. So maybe not the most competitive airplane, but a good one for putting some miles under the wings to come to events like this. RS Racecraft saying, hey guys, wanted to chime in. I looked at Mike Babcock's data just now, and it's actually just bumping the rev limiter. So it's literally just the computer saying, nope, you can't go any faster than that. That's what that noise was for Mike Babcock. Ryan Melendez. is going to be up, up, up. So let's check out what that score comes in.
Nice. Another nice tight pattern. I think that's what him and Russ, one of our air bosses, were discussing during the break was, can I get a tight pattern? I don't need to fly a whole full pattern like
Yeah,
this.
we have just one aircraft, yeah. That takeoff 181 feet.
Wow.
His shortest was 151 on the last one, and I think the reason for the 30-foot difference is the wind. We've now gone winds calm. Is this pretty typical of the area? Variable wind?
The wind can't make up its mind.
I mean, I know what it can do. We had a little bit of experience last year.
Definitely.
So Ryan's turning base to final to the right. Let's see what he can pair with this 181-foot takeoff.
The thing I like about the wind here is it's nice and cool. When we travel and there's wind, but it's warm, it's just not right.
Yeah, like at Oshkosh?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's just not right.
Or at Arkansas?
Yes.
Yeah. When the wind blows, it is warm.
Very good textbook off-airport landing there by Ryan. And he's going to do a 180 back to the line for his fourth run of practice. Want to talk about, we talked a little bit about the folks that have made this happen and the way that, you know, Angela, you're able to get people to help us out with the trailer for this event. You know, Phil coming to the rescue there. There's a lot of people that have done that. I just wanted to issue a big thank you to all those people. We've got friends and sponsors and even competitive events, right? Like the folks at STOL Drag, the folks at other events that do other portions of STOL. It's one big family, and they all came together to help us rebuild, and they're continuing to do so. So thank you to them for that.
Yeah, very awesome takeoff from Ryan. I also personally want to thank everyone who's reached out to National STOL, but not only to National STOL, but to me, myself, because the whole reason why we don't have a is I was driving the trailer from Moses Lake, our last show, or not the last show, but our next to last show at Moses Lake, and on the way to Wisconsin for Hartford for Sodbusters, I rolled the truck and the trailer 4 times, went airborne once, landed inverted, so I was upside down, and the trailer and truck caught on fire, and I was very fortunate to get out. So I was very blessed to get out. So thank you to everyone, especially Flying Eyes. They replaced all my glasses. I don't even have a prescription with them, but they filled my glasses prescription for me.
That's so kind.
So thanks to Lauren and Brad Davis at Flying Eyes for that, and just everyone in general for all the prayers and everything that was offered to me. So
yeah, we were just glad you were okay.
Yeah. And you know, during the J Foundation video that we saw earlier, you know, they were talking about checking in on your friends and family, and just, you know, you are loved.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you have friends and you're loved, and being able to see all the love pouring in, it made me pretty emotional a few times. And thank you for wishing me well as well. So
yeah, we were praying for you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, it was an interesting, I mean, you know, Cam, I know it was an interesting time for you, but for me also, no, just worrying about my friend, right? Like, we were all worried. And what the coolest thing, and I don't know if you knew this, was that, you know, we had the word kind of went through the National STOL, you know, private chats about that the accident had happened, and a call went out of like, hey, who's close to this town where this happened? And within minutes, people were like getting ready to hop in their airplanes, hop in their cars, and like get to your side.
Right.
Yeah.
That to me was pretty crazy, because that's like an extra level of dedication to a group of people, to a family, to an idea, to a person, right? To say like, I'm going to drop literally everything and just be there, just so you have someone there. And that was pretty incredible. So
that's beautiful.
Watching that from, you know, on my iPhone, in my living room going, what do I do? Like, what do I do? Right.
Yeah.
And then like, I'm sure equally as harrowing as what you went through. So
I will say, because, I lost my cell phone, laptop, camera, iPad. Like, I lost all of my, like, digital signature. I had to do that, and I felt like I was a Neanderthal. Like, I just had nothing. And so I had to use other people's phones. And my first ER visit from that, the nurses in the ER were super nice and let me use their phones to call my family and call Ryan and call everybody.
And you remembered
really
the phone
close to trying to
numbers?
make things happen. And then, when I got to the hotel, I'm sitting there, right? You get to a hotel rooms normally have phones, but they don't have long distance.
Oh.
So
yeah,
I
you can't get out.
Yeah, so everybody was trying to call. Like, Ryan was trying to call. They were fighting, trying to reach me, because I was on the phone a lot, talking to a whole bunch of people, and yeah, I couldn't call out to anybody. So it was very weird not having any of that digital signature available.
Well, it was again, like Angela said, like, really glad you're okay, and so heartened, right? The whole community rising up to like help not only National STOL but you, like the Flying Eyes thing. Like, that's I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was about to talk about how they saw me at Oshkosh and said, "Hey, your Flying Eyes look like they could get a little refresh," and they pulled me aside and got me a new pair under warranty.
Nice.
That's pales in comparison to what they're doing, just to make sure that you're taken care of and everything. So that's all really great. We need to take a little break. It's time for a little break as we get ready for the next phase of practice. So we will do that. We're going to switch over to a little break, and we'll be back with, I believe, maybe the rookie class. We'll see if that airplane's able to get fired back up. Otherwise, we're going to head into the backcountry class. So stick tight. It's going to be a lot more fun here in Pinedale, Wyoming at
What we do, bring awareness to mental health and suicide prevention. To explain the J Foundation, I'm going to take you back to Jason's childhood. He was adopted from South Korea by the Bing family. The Bings actually own the Cowboy Shop, this building that we're in here. It's been around now for over 77 years. My name is Julie Mackey. I'm with the J Foundation. I'm going to talk specifically about Jay and Jason. One of his best friends growing up was Jay, but if your parents own a country western apparel store, you're probably going to be in here all the time, right? And Jay was. He loved being in here, and he especially loved his cowboy boots. His mom, Carolyn, said, when you share the story, make sure people understand. If he had sweatpants on, they were tucked into his boots. If he had shorts on, he was wearing his boots. That's just how much he loved his boots, right? Jay loved everything that Pinedale had to offer in the Wind Rivers here, and snow machining, horseback riding, and fly fishing, and he just loved being outside. In March of 2016, Jason was traveling a lot, 1 week specifically for work. He spoke to Jay on a Wednesday and again on a Friday, just kind of that surface level conversation. Sunday morning, Jason woke up to a few missed calls from his dad, Mike, and we called Mike back. He said, "Son, don't know how to tell you this, but Jay took his life last night." And for Jason, that was and still is the hardest day of his life. After that, we all came back to Pinedale. The service was at the Catholic church over here, and it was packed. It was actually standing room only. The doors were open, people were standing outside, and a couple things that Jason noticed that day that he said was beautiful is all walks of life were there. Catholics, atheists, Christians, it didn't matter. Jay had that ability to bring people together. And the second thing that Jason noticed is that without it being said, a majority of people had cowboy boots on. Just that love and respect of Jay's love for boots and the Bing family. Jason made a promise that day to Jay that something good would come from this tragedy. This next part of the foundation's our favorite part. So today you're all going to get your Jay boots, all right? These boots are a reminder, a physical reminder of how much you're loved, you're valued, you're meant to be here, and you have people that absolutely love you and care about you. On those days that might be and go for a walk. cowboy boots. It's probably going to draw some attention, but if you do have some, these are going to be different, right? These are going to be your J boots. Sometimes the boot finds you, sometimes it's process of elimination, but once you find that perfect pair, you're going to put them both on, be bold enough to check in on others, but be bold enough to know also when your cup's a little empty and you need to take care of yourself. Jason said if Jay would have been honest in those last two conversations and said, I am not doing well and I'm having these thoughts, Jason would have dropped everything to go be with him. And I think we're all in that same boat where somebody reaches out, we're gonna go. We're going without judgment. We haven't walked in their shoes, so we couldn't possibly understand what they're going through. So to just be able to go. Hopefully today you all feel the generosity of STOL and what you guys are being able to do, and Angela's hard work to make this happen. Jay was such a generous person that we want that legacy to continue. It's so important to us. The second ask is that if you ever find yourself in a space like Jay was in and you're not doing well, that you make a commitment to reach out for help. As of our meeting the other day, there's over 11,000 pairs now, national and international. So it's crazy to see what has happened. So I'm gonna close this in prayer. Lord God, just thank you again for another opportunity to share Jay's story, but more importantly, to have a real conversation, that you can allow us to be a light where maybe there's darkness, or allow those of us that are in darkness to reach out to the light. I pray that you guide us, that these boots have a special power over them, and that they have a purpose. In Jesus' name, amen.
Genuine Aircraft Hardware Company has been holding aviation together since 1984. Nuts, bolts, screws, washers, and other fasteners fill our Billing, Montana warehouse. We also have items like tubing, hinge, gang channel, and much more. Instead of supporting the bigger guys, consider shopping small and supporting an old-fashioned small family business. Our toll-free number is 888-247-2738, and our email address is sales@genhardware.com. We look forward to helping you keep your plane in the sky where it belongs.
And folks, welcome to Rocky Mountain STOL, National STOL, Pinedale, Wyoming. FB, our sponsors.
Yeah. Sorry, I would be honest with you at home. I was trying to eat a quesadilla just then.
Oh no,
it's
fine.
I didn't quite finish it in time. Anyway, by Adventure Pilot. That's them.
That's them.
Great. Yeah.
Okay.
EFB, folks, is the most complete EFB app for Android, iOS, and Windows that has all the advanced features pilots want in the most intuitive flight planning and navigation the market.
Like, yeah, if you're on all three of those platforms, you're doing a big thing.
To be real, that's the thing. That's the big. I mean, never mind that the product's good.
Yes.
It's on all three things.
It's accessible to everybody.
Everyone can have a turn at it. That's the big differentiator, and it's great.
Yeah, I was an Android guy and had the.
Yeah, and I'm an iPhone guy, and I never. It's nice to have options. They packs 1 year that rotates. Wilderness class is going to be up for those iFly EFB subscriptions here at Rocky Mountain STOL. Going to be great, and really appreciate their support. We've talked a lot about Flying Eyes. Our friends at Cam's glasses is amazing. They also actually loaned us some equipment for Oshkosh when National was at AirVenture.
Yeah, yeah.
Having a tent there and stuff like that. Real solid people. Pilots. And I think the other kind of Flying Eyes is that, you know, they ask all their customers for feedback on the products. And so, for instance, like when they replaced my frames at Oshkosh, which talk about service.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
Right, but then the other thing is I noticed the frames, but they are noticeably more comfortable.
Yes.
And so that means that they're listening to their customers.
You can't ask for a better product.
For constantly one piece of the vision piece, which is very important, the old Mark I eyeball.
Yeah.
Really appreciate them. The other folks we got to talk about are Lift. Helmets provided by Lift Aviation for the rookies in the rookie class. Helmets are a requirement for safety super. Lift Aviation provided rookies to wear. If you get dabbling in a helmet, it's a pretty expensive thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so they provided those helmets. Were lost in the fire as well. And they right away. So the rookies continue to be safe. If they don't have a helmet, they have something they can wear, protect the old Mark I brain, whatever. And they did a great job of supporting us there. And you check them out. They've got helmets. They got shoes, knee boards, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they support not just in STOL, but in air shows. I think you can see them on the head of some of the Red Bull racers. And pilots. So Lift Aviation, worth checking out. We've got our banner on display nearing that merchandise or wish to make a donation to help support National STOL. You know, we want to make sure you're recognized for helping out, keep the thing going.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Every little bit helps.
Like literally takes a village.
Yeah.
I mean, Angela was just here talking about all the different sponsors that have to come together to make this thing a reality, and she's not wrong. And every event is like that, and then the whole national series is like that as well. Don't forget, also, I'm just barreling through this stuff. NationalSTOL.com/vote. What's that about, Cam?
Oh, that's the Ralph Wenz People's Choice Award. Basically, if you're watching and you have a favorite pilot, and if you're in the crowd, please participate as well. You've got your iPhone or Android or whatever in your pocket. Vote for your favorite pilot. And at this competition, there's a substantial
cash prize.
Yeah.
It's like cash money.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Wentz family. So
$1.
that's really amazing.
Yeah.
And so we appreciate them for that. NationalSTOL.com/vote. It's NationalSTOL.com/vote. You know, just once, Cam, I'd like them to put the announcers in. That would be pretty funny, right? If they could put us in there as well.
Yes, announcers.
Just I would like us to compete against the pilots.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I'd like to see, could we maybe together, if we combined forces, and it was just announcers, or like Ryan and Cam, and then we would be in there and like, could we unseat Ryan Melendez? Like, probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Like, could we beat Steve Henry? Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
So, anyway, that is what's going on for you at the nationalstol.com/vote for that Ralph Wenz People's Choice Award. So just in a hold right now, getting ready to kick off more practice here. It's just at the entrance. Pinedale is the entrance to the Wind River mountain range.
Oh, man.
And look off in the distance there. I mean, behind us are like the real pointy ones, but even in front of us, what would you call these? Like foothills?
Foothills, yeah.
These beautiful foothills, and we got some, cloud cover coming in right now, maybe a little rain off in the distance. I flew into Jackson Hole yesterday. Lucky. It was jaw-dropping. And then the drive here, just like incredible. And it gave me a real sense of gratitude for what we have access to as pilots.
Yes.
I mean, even though I rode in commercial, but you know what I mean? Like, what
absolutely.
I was seeing, just like, wow, this is like a moment I'm having here in the looking out the window at these mountains and seeing the world a way that people. It wasn't that long ago we couldn't see the world that way. You know?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, just imagine imagine if you've never really seen that point of view from the air. You've always driven a car, just been on the ground or whatever. It's that I'm going to put you on the spot. But,
it's fine. Hit me.
Or actually, I can put the chat in the spot. But what's the effect that the astronauts have when they see the Earth for the very first time?
Is it the overlook effect?
Yeah. I mean,
is that what it is?
I think that's
only
what
there
it
was
is.
a device I could use.
I mean, it's very similar. The
overview effect.
Okay, yeah. So I remember the first time I saw my neighborhood from the sky, like actually my town, from the sky, from 1,000 feet, from just 1,000 feet. It looked completely different. Like it was recognizable because I know all the landmarks, but it looked different. It's not the same as looking at it through Google Earth or Google Maps or anything, or Apple Maps or whatever. When you're sitting in an airplane and you like just look out the window and you're at 1,000 feet above, wherever, maybe your favorite spot, it just looks completely different, and you just have a sense of gratitude, like you said, like just from driving in, but just from that perspective, just gives you a different view on life.
Yeah. And it feels like, to me, I don't know if it feels that way to you, when I take off, it feels like I literally transition from one version of the world to the other. Like there's the ground view.
Yeah.
And then maybe like 50 to 100 feet off the ground, my brain goes, oh, it's like a different map.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a video game, and we've like switched to a different world.
Yeah.
And it's like that different. And I had the same experience. I remember flying over the house I grew up in, and it was on this little bank of a river, and just something about like floating over the top of it is real interesting. It puts it all in perspective. Looking at the chat right now, I just want to call it Luke Strandland, one of our competitors. Says,
oh, man. What's up, Luke?
Says, wish I could be there. Great event. Can't wait to get back in the competition. He's been working on his plane a lot.
Yeah. MP Troll going off.
Yeah, MP Troll, man. You don't get more points for chat. I'm just kidding. You chat all you want. That's great.
He's actually an E-STOL competitor, so he's representing E-STOL for us right now in the chat, along with Katrina, if she's still in there.
Funny joke here from Bubbles in the chat. Always be sure to fly into the wind to break ground. Don't break wind to fly into the ground. That's pretty good. I like that. So, yeah, just getting ready to fire things back up here in practice in Pinedale, Wyoming. What are you looking forward to so far, Cam, for tomorrow? I mean, we've seen the Mike Babcock, Jody Card thing is going to kick off. We've got Jared Garrettson, I think, is going to enter himself into that battle as well.
Yep.
And so that's something to keep an eye on.
Battle of the Badlands.
Badlands battle. The other thing we haven't got to in practice yet today, but we've got a husky battle as well.
Yep.
In the backcountry class, and then to see the Brandon Corn John McCardle thing fire back up, like I am so excited.
Yeah, the rest of the season is going to be very exciting. I'm glad that we've got some of our people who've been building airplanes and been at various stages due to shipping and parts shortages and things of that nature. Like I'm glad that a lot of them are here, and it's happening. We've been looking forward to it all season, and then, real life happens.
Right. Well, and I think the thing is, too, is that this season feels like that transitionary season as people do that. You've got, like, Pat McIntyre's building a Badlands. You've got a lot of people switching to new, different aircraft.
Yeah.
Luke says he can't wait to bring more horsepower than National STOL has ever seen. So Luke in the chat. So fill us in the chat, Luke. Let us know.
Yeah,
So we know that we're at 400 horsepower at this event.
Yep.
With the whatever Mike Babcock's making, the secret. We don't know. I think he'll be making 1,000 for all we know. Probably not. Probably
John,
not 1,000.
John McCardle's making 400
John
as well.
McCardle's making 400. So, like, where are you at, Luke? Let's drop a gauntlet here on the chat. Folks also in the chat noticing that that's a funny-looking airplane out there. that is a water truck doing some routine. Not the pilot to get out there and practice.
Admiring the driver earlier, he was cognizant of the STOL line, so he would shut it off before he got there. But
not this time.
Not this time.
Not this time.
Nah.
Nope. Just wash it away. That's fine. We'll just repaint it.
Yep.
So the other thing I think we could talk about as we get ready to go is another group of folks that have helped us so much. Clemens Aviation Insurance.
Yo. Absolutely. The most affordable and best insurance coverage available, maintaining the highest quality of standards of excellence.
That's them.
So, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm a customer. Like, when I need something, like, I just call Lexi. I call Lexi Duncan. I'm like, hey, this is what's happening. She's like, got you, bro.
That's great.
Yeah.
They've offered a lot. My flying club is trying to transition over to Clemens, but it's like, there's like 14 of us I need to like wrangle into it. But Jerry and Lexi have offered a lot of like really good information about how we can like reduce our being real straight. Like, here's some ways you can reduce your premiums.
Yeah.
Maybe require a little bit more of some of the members. Maybe require the members that aren't flying to fly a little bit more. Like, get them to be more current, more proficient, so they're not a liability on your policy compared to the ones that fly all the time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways that they can work with us to help us keep affordable as possible, but also not opening.
You hit on a is proficiency. Like,
yeah,
no matter what you have, you should be flying it. Like, if you have an airplane and it's flyable, you need to put time in it, like at least weekly, if you can.
I mean, that's how the pilot's doing this hot pilot.
Yeah.
Right? Like, burn. Proficient. Yeah. Versus you can be lead. Like, I example. And them up with my wife, who, by the way, is married today.
Congratulations.
So we made anniversary. What do
Hi,
you
Kristen.
get? Yeah, what do I get her for? I still didn't get her anything.
Don't say that.
No, she knows. We talked about it. We agreed. Low this year. In a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, what what do you give for the wax? I don't know. Anyway, like the thing that happens, right, is you're like, okay, I am. Like, look at the logbook. Am I passenger current? Yes. Am I proficient enough to take the plane with me? Absolutely. Up for a flight, their first flight. Like I had to go to the airport and like pattern.
Yes.
To just feel where I was like, okay, like I got this. I'm proficient, safe. I'm ready. Equation when you've got like your children in the aircraft, or you're doing or other things like that. Work hard to do all that stuff. So anyway, that's an important thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Just make sure especially if it's a tail dragger. I mean, like you definitely need to make sure that you're proficient because, I mean, like we said earlier, like tail draggers are the best pilots. Well, I mean, like you're not the best if you're not flying.
Okay, so Luke got back to us in the chat. It made 660 horsepower at 60% power. That seems like a big number. That's a lot. That's a lot of horsies. So at that horsepower, Luke, are you worried about like the old like Warbird rollover? Because that was a thing on some of the Warbirds, right? If you try to take off at full throttle, you're actually going to like torque roll into a problem. So like you're making that much horsepower. Like how do you counteract all that torque from the engine? Like, and he flies a Super Rebel.
Yeah.
Which has a fairly large tail. It's a fairly large airplane, but like I just don't know. I'm so interested in this.
Yeah, seriously. And folks, if you don't really understand what we're talking about with the power and the torque roll and the Warbird, what's it called?
I just called it the Warbird rollover. I don't know if that's what it's called.
Well, I mean, like if you watch the movie Devotion, they hit on it.
Happens. Yeah.
It happens in the movie, and that's one of the things, especially for the Corsair. I mean, like it's just such a beast of an airplane. Like you said, you go firewall forward, and unlike a car, you know, you hit the pedal to the metal in a car, and like if it's high horsepower, and you know you've got everything set up right, like you can if it's rear wheel drive, you can lift the front of the car easily, or not easily. Not every car can do that, but it's a similar thing to that. Like there's just so much torque. And like you said, you go into a torque roll on takeoff and usually end up inverted. And
it's a bad day.
It's a very bad day.
It's a bad day. MP Troll in the chat saying, cut the mic. He's digging his own grave. I think he's referencing my my admission that I haven't got my wife anything. But we talked about it.
Yeah, no, it's A-okay.
Yeah, we've been together we did 16 years married. And then 7 years before that, before I finally got off my rear end and propose. So there's a lot of time there. We know what's up. We know what's up between the two of us.
And while you're on that tone, I'm going to say hi to my girlfriend,
oh,
Katie.
Yeah, Katie. Hey, how's it going, Katie?
Yeah, hey, what up? She's at home right now at work. She's not able to watch right now because she's got a new job and she's trying to be the model employee. But she's on her way to becoming a professional geologist.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So
rocks. That rocks.
And water. I mean, like
water and rocks.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of stuff.
Luke Strangler in the chat says we will find out in a week or so. I know Luke is gonna like do this the proper like flight test way, but just like that comment just like fills me with like a little fear. But no, you know he's gonna do the right thing there and test it incrementally and make sure everything's being safe. And that's part of the test protocol when you're building an experimental airplane. So can't wait to see what Luke does with it. Folks, thanks for hanging with us. We're in a bit of a pause here at Rocky Mountain STOL, getting ready for the next bit of practice. Tomorrow, we're going to be having the full competition here at Rocky Mountain STOL, Pinedale, Wyoming, up to 7,000 feet up above sea level for field elevation. It's high enough that those of us like me, like from, I think I normally am at like 700 feet above sea level, give or take.
Yep, I'm
throughout
three.
Maybe 700 to 1,500, depending where I am in Wisconsin. It's hitting my pulse ox. Like 100%, like I'm lower oxygen saturation. which is what I'm going to say is why I've been making so many mistakes today on the mic. That's probably why, because I can't breathe up here. Anyway, so
well, you don't sound out of breath. So
well, that's because I'm sitting down.
No. I mean, like, if I'm not thinking about breathing up here, like, I will just start trailing at the end of a sentence and have to take a deep breath.
Anyway, what a wonderful day.
What a wonderful place.
What a wonderful day, wonderful place. Beautiful, beautiful terrain. I really want to go flying. I mean, that's, I think, the hardest part. I would love to just get in a cockpit right now and go fly.
Yeah. Clint, where you're at? I want some Badlands time.
Oh, that'd be rad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got it with Jared, like at Hartford.
Yeah, I heard about that.
There wasn't a stick in the back, so I didn't get any time. But, like, I was in love with that airplane to begin with. And then we landed in, like, 40 feet with the both of us in there. And I was like,
wow.
Dude, what? Like,
what is happening?
It was literally the most expensive ride I've ever taken because, well, it will end up being the most expensive ride I've ever taken because I got to have one and I got to figure out how to, like, sell a toe or, like, some toenails or some fingernails or whatever to to be able to afford one.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they're amazing airplanes.
Absolutely.
Getting ready now to kick things off. I believe we're headed over to the backcountry class. So up next, backcountry class here at Rocky Mountain STOL. Cam, I don't know if everyone's here yet, but here's who's competing tomorrow. It's the Battle of the Huskies.
Yeah, straight up. Brad Crawford, Jerry Clemens, Patrick Pfister, and Bobby Druin.
And literally all of them in Huskies, and they're all in Husky A1Cs. Varied horsepower between them. We've got some that have around 180 horsepower. Let's look over here. We've got 200 horsepower. So they're within fighting distance of each other. They also have various gross weights and empty weights. So, the 200 horsepower plane is a little heavier than the 180 horsepower plane, but it has 200 horsepower. So you can kind of see how that nets out. What's really going to be interesting for me is we saw Brad Crawford flying this morning.
Mm-hmm.
He's a buddy of yours.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of flying should people expect?
So this class is really going to be interesting because all the guys in the class are excellent pilots. No doubt about it. What's interesting is that Brad is he was an aerobatic pilot. I don't remember if he went to competition or if he did air shows or if it was both, but I mean, he was serious in the aerobatics. Even at Swamp STOL, the guy that showed up in the extra was his old extra. It was Brad's old extra.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And then you got Jerry Clemens, which you've seen Double D at work. I mean, that airplane is amazing. He's got beta. He's got reverse pitch prop or reverse on the aircraft. So I mean, whenever he's slowing down, you may hear it go into full throttle, and that's because
it's weird the first time you see it.
It's so weird. And then Patrick, like we've seen him on the circuit before. I'm not really like drawing. I'm drawing a blank on what we've seen from him, but I know that he's up here. Like if you showed up to Pinedale to compete, you know what's going on. It's high density altitude.
Yep.
I mean, the weather, the wind, the dust. There's a lot going on with that. And then you have Robert. His name is in here is Robert Druin. It's Bobby Druin. He's a test pilot for Aviat.
That's going to be hard to beat. Talk about someone who knows that. And it's interesting because you just talked about 3 people that know the airplane in very distinct and intimate but different ways.
Yeah.
Like Brad bringing his aerobatic experience. Super interesting watching him fly. He flies it almost aerobatically.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can see the precision and the comfort with like roll rates and climbing and things like that.
Yeah, he was impressing Mike Goulian. Like when we were at Hartford, Mike Goulian and the Christian Eagles and a couple other folks were up north of the field, getting ready for Oshkosh. It was the first time the Next Gen Eagles were performing at Oshkosh, and he was giving them, like, I pulled up, and he was giving them critique and pointers and everything.
Yeah.
And they stopped. They would completely stop talking to, he would completely stop talking to whoever he was critiquing, and they would just watch Brad, like, just heavy slip the airplane. And he was like, I want to fly with him.
Yeah. I want to fly with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, he's your buddy. Can you put a good word in for me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Brad.
All day.
Let's go. So that's coming up in the backcountry class in just a second. Sport class is going to be very interesting as well. We've got Joel Milloway in a 1996 Rans S7. Jeff Valen back on the circuit. He was at Moses Lake, had a little cheering session of kids, like cheering him on. Amazing. Flying in Lil Rabbit, a 2016 Zenith 701.
Yeah.
Kit Fox Model 4, flown by Kyle Patterson. And then we haven't seen one of these on the circuit in a while. 2007's Zlin Savage Classic.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You don't see Zlin. I mean, Zlins are known overseas as quite competent backcountry airplanes, very Cub-like in their design. I haven't seen one on the circuit, I think, for forever.
It's been years.
So
sure.
Really interesting because we've got light, small airplanes with really good power to weight ratios. And you're going to see some really short takeoffs and landings. We saw Kyle Patterson, I think, at Hartford, flying the electric Kit Fox.
Yep. He's a lineman.
It's not electric
it's not
powered.
Electric.
It's Rotax powered, but it's called the electric Kit Fox. You'll see that the shade of yellowish green that it is could only be picked by someone who's a power lineman by trade. It's very bright and definitely super cool. So that's going to be the sport class, and excited to see what happens there. Favorites in it, honestly, you've got Milloway, who was flying the Tiger Shark last night, practicing. He's a competitor that is really hard to beat. I think Jeff Valen really impressed me at Moses Lake.
Yes.
And
at Oregon Trail.
And Oregon Trail, yeah, absolutely. And then Kyle Patterson, putting down numbers. He's got a small Kit Fox, right? He's able to do it the way it needs to be done. So really cool to see. I don't know what to expect from Robin Irwin in the Zlin at all.
Yeah, and I saw it out there because it threw me off because it almost, you see the airplane, and if you're very familiar with a lot of the airplanes that we have on the competition circuit, it's kind of got like a Ramsey-looking front end and then a Cub tail, and you're like,
yeah, what is this?
What is this? Yeah. And I can't wait to see it fly. I'm so excited.
Next up later today will be the Unlimited class practice session. Again, not sure if everyone's going to be here. I mean, you can see even in the distance there's some rain showers off in the foothills there. So Hal Stockman is here, though. He's got his 2024 Badlands Vaquero lawnmower 4.1 with the canards on the front. We've been doing, it's been like Cam and Ryan explain aerodynamics for some reason today, more than other days it feels like, and we'll get into a whole thing about the canards, but it's basically a third set of wings or lifting surfaces on the plane that he uses to allow it to fly a certain way, and he's experimenting with that.
Basically overbalance the back end, essentially, right?
Yeah, and Jared Garrettson's going to be here in the Badlands Traveler doing some Badlands stuff. Jared is the guy. If I were to highlight one pilot that has surprised me this year, it's Jared, because he was kind of new on the scene, I think, a year or two ago. He's kind of starting to be around, and now, for some reason, he keeps convincing people to let him borrow their airplanes, and then he beats them in the airplane he borrowed, or just wins the class if they're not competing in it. And Jared is he's a good stick. He's kind of the up-and-coming Unlimited competitor. It's very interesting to see Jared and Steve fight it out. This is Steve's second visit to National STOL this year. And so to see Steve and watch what maybe you'd call like the old guard of STOL competitors, the OG.
The OGs. Triple OG.
People that were competing in National STOL back in 2020 when it was just forming.
Yeah.
Steve Henry, obviously, the pedigree way further back than that with things like the dead stick takeoff and and
Yeah.
cool viral videos about flying backcountry. To see Steve Henry with Jerry Garrettson now, you know,
Yeah.
it's just
it's
it's going to be cool to see.
It's everything that is exciting. I mean, we're here to all watch the same thing and like just get blasted away by the performance of some of these aircraft and like you said, like the pilots, like someone who just seems so unassuming, who is just like a monster behind the stick.
So the delay continues. Look at that pretty little Cessna 150 that just landed. The delay continues because look at our flags. We need to flip the runway now based on what the wind is doing. So chatting with race control here, a couple things. One, race control is monitoring the weather, monitoring that cell of weather off in the distance there. If it gets near us and it produces any lightning, we'll advise you folks here in Pinedale to make sure you have time to take shelter if need be. But right now, it's looking okay. The other little update is that it looks like Jerry Clemens is going to practice here in the backcountry class. So just a little bit of a delay as we flip the runway now, and then he'll be practicing. Doesn't look like Brad is going to practice today.
Okay.
He's going to keep it in the stable, and they're working on getting an answer from Patrick and Bobby there. So might just be Jerry Clemens practicing for backcountry today. We will see. But first, we've got to flip a runway. You can see the judges doing that right now. So just a little bit more of a delay there. Let's go to the chat and see. Yeah, right now, Mike Hardig saying, "Gotta love the weather in the Mountain West." No joke. MP Troll saying, "That's my love language, Zlyn Savage." I love that.
Yeah.
So it's a cool airplane.
And it's one in the Eastall community. I mean, like it's a very good flying aircraft.
Oh, that's also where you're connecting to it. I mean, the one that I always thought was cool. I used to spend a lot of time on the Zlyn website, and they used to I don't know if they still build it. There was an airplane called the Zlyn Savage. They have a version of it called the Savage Bobber, which is based on an old motorcycle design. And the Savage Bobber is a cowled engine, a cockpit with a windscreen, and I think doors, and then everything behind you, behind your seat, or the two seats of the cockpit, is wide open. It's just an open tube fuselage, right? Like no fabric covering on the fuselage at all. And then there's obviously fabric covering on the the things that need to be covered, like the wings and the control surfaces in the rear of the tail. So super interesting design that I think someone just thought would be cool. You know, we've seen that design, like Frank Knapp had leveraged that design with his world record-setting Lil Cub, like having no fabric on the tail there. So there's, I think, some performance benefits, but mostly in the Savage Bobber, to me, looking at the marketing materials, it was just about like, you're going to be sitting in a box of tubes in the sky, and it looks really cool.
Yeah,
it feels a little Harley Davidson, like a little, like a little kind of like style points type thing. And so
what do you like? You know, the motorcycles, like everyone's wearing
protective gear.
No,
or
dang, I'm thinking
like
about
leather jackets.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the cuts. So everyone's wanting to do the motorcycle gang thing, motorcycle club thing, and wearing cuts. I wonder what you would wear in the bobber, as a bobber gang, as a bobber squadron.
I don't know. I mean,
a bobber squadron.
Bobber squadron.
So you wear a bobber jacket.
Cool. It looks like Zlyn. I'm just going on here. This is great TV, but I went on the website to just see what it looks like, and like the website, they haven't updated the bobber. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I mean, look at that. It doesn't even have doors. I misspoke. There are no doors on it at all. There's just like holes for you to walk through.
Oh, they got it in a picture with a GTO and I'm guessing a Harley. That's awesome. Like an old school GTO for the aficionados out there.
So that's pretty cool. That airplane powered by a Rotax 912, 100 horsepower.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just sitting in the sky there, and I love that I wish you guys could see this.
They have like
saddlebags,
yeah,
saddlebags on a motorcycle in the plane. So, anyway, that's what I want. Someone compete in the Savage Bobber in National STOL. That'd be really, really cool.
Yeah.
The other one that I still want to see in National STOL and we haven't seen yet, there aren't very many in the United States, is the Shock Ultra.
Yes.
That airplane is in E-STOL like banned. Like it's too good.
Yeah.
That airplane, super light, super slow. I mean, just an insane amount of slow.
Yeah, and the guy that was supposed to be bringing them in, I don't know if he's still doing it, but he's based out of North Little Rock, Arkansas. So like I have seen the Shock Ultra like quite a few times, and in fact it did compete at Arkansas a couple of years. So yeah, it's such a cool airplane.
Yeah, I mean it stalls with the flaps and slats at 31 miles an hour, but with a single pilot in it, stall speed. They don't even say stall speed. They say minimum flight speed is 19 miles an hour. It's insane. I mean, we've seen similar in National STOL. That's not unheard of. We've seen some of these unlimited class airplanes do that sort of thing, but to have that like off the shelf, is pretty crazy. So,
man.
MP Troll says Bobber style is boots, jeans, white shirt, and a black leather jacket and goggles.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's nailed it.
I think he nailed it.
And then apparently there's a Kit Fox Model 3 like that on Barnstormers right now. Thanks, Mike Hartig.
Yeah. So if you're at home right now and you're wondering what it's like to be out here, like it's pretty cool. We got some overcast.
Yep.
The wind
is starting to pick up.
But what's cool about the wind is every once in a while you'll get a whiff of ginger. Like, I don't know if you smelled it. I know you've got nose.
I got a thing going on.
You got things going on, but if you talking and every pick up, I would smell ginger, and I was like, "What is that?" And I talked to him. He said that there are ginger farms around here, and also out in front of us. So along some of the foothills with the sage, there is kind of wild ginger that's out there too. And so we're getting a mix of smells, but every once in a while, when the wind comes from, I don't know what direction I'm sitting in, honestly.
I mean, if the wind comes from like 2-9.
Yep. It just carries that ginger, and I'm just so happy to smell it. Kind of reminds me of eating those like gummy ginger candies that are super strong.
And that, to relate it back to flying, when I first started flying, is a little story for folks, is when I first started flying, I got really nauseous all the time. I was not born to be a pilot. Like, my body was not, like, ready for it.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of money on ginger gum.
Yeah.
And ginger snap, like, treats like that.
Yeah.
Like the little
gummy
like,
ones.
Gummy ones. Just to keep me, like, from having a problem in the cockpit.
Yeah.
And it was enough to get me over the hump. Let's go. We're going to go to a word from our sponsors, folks. We're going to be right back. It sounds like we're getting ready. The runway's almost flipped, and then we'll be back with Jerry Clemens doing his practice runs in the Husky.
My name's Danny Goggins. I'm the flight instructor here at American Legend Cub in Sulphur Springs. What we have here today is we have the Legend, the AL-18. It's one of our new. We do demo flights in it. I got the fortunate to fly it off the assembly line and then take it out and fly it all the way to Oshkosh and back, so it has a few little hours on it, nice and broke in, and then we do demo flights with it. This one has the IO360 Lycoming engine in it. It's got the Cato ground adjustable prop on it. It's got the G3X in it. It's a very light aircraft, flies very well, very stable. I'm a little biased in my opinion, but I got to start with Darren and over 20 years ago when he started, so we had a lot of input. all the local guys around here. We were all Cub guys. So we started trying to build the best Cub we could with added new features that were bringing them up to date. The biggest thing I like about American Legend Cub, when you come in here, you get to personalize and make your own airplane. And we try to tell people what they can expect if they put like a certain size tire on it, or leading edge slats on it, or certain engine on it, so that they can kind of personalize that airplane and build it around what they're looking for. So if you want to go float plane, we got the lake right here. The runway runs right out into the lake. So we have everything you need here, from the seaplane base to the grass runway to the 5,000-foot concrete runway here, you know, and we even have RNAV approaches in here. So if you want to go do an RNAV approach, that can be done also. And then just north of here, about 30 miles, there's the river bottom. So sometimes some of them want to go land in the river bottom out there and do that. So really we have just pretty much everything you need around here to see what these little planes will do. So I think our big niche is that we do the custom airplane for you. You come in here, you want it, you want paint, you want this, you want toe brakes, you want whatever. Well, yeah, we'll figure out how to make it work. So I think the sky's the limit on what you want to do.
And folks, we are back.
We are back, and the wind is starting to howl in the Wind River Valley. And we're getting ready for backcountry practice. Thanks for hanging with us while we worked through all that stuff, getting the runway flipped and getting some stuff sorted out with the end of the Cub class with the battery failure, things like that. That's why it's practice, folks. Here comes Jerry Clemens in Double D as Aviat Husky. He's got some nice wind on the nose right now.
Yeah, we're about to see something special, I feel. He's bringing the tail up. And he's going to go tail low, looks like. He's back up.
Nicely done for Jerry Clemens there. That's what we were talking about, like kind of like the perfect timing. Like the tail came down and the airplane came right up. He maybe could have even pulled a fraction of a second sooner.
Yeah.
It felt almost too ready to fly, but it was definitely like a nice, clean one for Jerry Clemens.
He's turning crosswind right now. Yeah, so this class tomorrow is going to be something else. It is going to be absolutely awesome.
People who have been fans of National STOL for a long time have been wanting a formula class. So it's every airplane is the same. It's literally down to the pilots only.
Yeah.
And that we have that every once in a while. We have that in an event, right? We have the Huskies here. We've got a bit of a formula class. You know, they're not all identical, but they're at least all identical airframes.
Yeah.
And so obviously seasoned to taste per pilot, but really exciting to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Jerry Clemens now turning left base.
Did you do you remember last year with Bobby? He had like it was like a test aircraft because he had that red and white like instrument on the.
Yeah, he had like the pitot static test angle of attack type test thing out front. Yeah, super cool.
And you can see Jerry sliding over there from that crosswind that he's got. He's going to get it lined up.
Right now, it's interesting. We have a fair amount of wind pushing through the tent right now, kind of gusting in and out. The last METAR is winds calm from 20 minutes ago. That is obviously not the case anymore here.
A little delayed. Oh, I smell rain.
Yeah, starting to see some raindrops coming down. As Jerry Clemens holding it off. Good over the line for Jerry Clemens.
Yeah. He didn't even really need to use bait. I don't think it was working at that point anyways, but Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that beta thrust, that reverse pitch stuff that we were talking about. He's going to give us a little dusting here, we think.
A light dusting.
A little 100 low lead, that sweet smell of 100 low lead coming into your nostrils. So yeah, the reverse pitch propeller didn't seem to either get applied or use it. It didn't really need it. But it is not a silver bullet. We've seen that time and time again. That extra workload of that is hard to use.
Looks like Jerry's dusting off
Lexi too.
out there. Yeah.
Hey, Lexi, you look a little too clean. A little bit of rain starting to fall now here at Ralph Wenz Field.
I like that slow bringing up of the tail. He's going to do it again. And then he's going to pull. And
oh,
yeah,
nicely done.
That was great.
And look at, I think the name of the game for me with his flying, with Jerry's flying, is how precise, right? You mentioned the tail coming up very slowly to a very specific place. He's very measured. He's very precise about how he does all of that. And then you see it even with the flap retraction. The flaps get retracted at a very slow and measured pace in the cockpit to make sure that it's smooth. He's not losing lift at too quickly or too aggressively. You see that with student pilots a lot. Like they'll just dump the flaps and the plane settles back down as it loses that lift. So really great work there for him. So precise.
As he's cooking on downwind. He's making his downwind to base turn. And at this point, you know, he's deploying flaps. He's pulling back the throttle. Just getting set up for that stabilized approach as he's turning for final.
Still a fair amount of wind coming down. Look at the feather flags. Actually, let's look at the windsock out in the distance there, folks. If you're here in the field, you can see it off to the right, kind of past the main runway here at the airport. It's nearly fully extended. If it's calibrated, that means 15 knots if it's fully extended. So we're probably in that 10 to 15 knot wind. That's very different from what we've had the rest of the day today.
Yeah, and you can really tell, what he's dealing with, especially on his base leg, because he's kind of angled coming into final.
Ooh. A little bit of backfiring there. There's that reverse pitch propeller we've been waiting for. More wind coming in now, and rain as well.
Yeah, that, what's the name? The name of the smell? Petrichor?
Is that what the rain smell is?
The name of the rain smell is petrichor?
You and I are doing like a Bill Nye type thing.
Yeah. You didn't only come here for airplanes. What's really interesting about that is recently they found out that humans are the sensitivity to our sensitivity to that smell is 200 times our normal smell sensitivity to other things. Like we're like superhuman when it comes to that smell because you can smell it so far off.
And yeah, you were absolutely right. Petrichor, primarily caused by the compound geosmin, a byproduct of bacteria in the soil. When the rain falls, it disturbs the bacteria, releasing geosmin into the air. Huh.
Yeah, it's something that's happened through evolution. where our sensitivity has just increased so much.
Apparently, it's an evolutionary advantage to help us find water sources.
Ooh.
Whoa, nice one for Jerry Clemens. He's going to have to send that one to the underwriters. So aggressive. That was a good one. So he's going to be coming around now, and we'll see what this rain is doing. It's not super heavy yet. You can see our camera crew trying to keep the cameras dry. Much appreciated. Keep everything moving and grooving. Jerry Clemens now on downwind. Doing a good job keeping the lights on there, giving us a little nav light positioning, little stroby strobes, so we can see where he's at.
Let's see if we can see. I mean, obviously, with the wind blowing like it is, he's not going to have a perfectly rectangular pattern, but you accommodate for that. Like right now, like that angle that he's coming in is not like perfectly squared, but that's what he needs in order to make that easier turn to final into the wind.
Just checking out the radar here. Race Control and I are comparing radar diagrams. Mine shows a bit more rain than Race Control's does, but that could also have to do with the tilt, right? The tilt of the radar and what side of it you're seeing. I am not a meteorologist, though. I am getting a little wet, so I'm gonna. Can I move closer to you?
Yes, please.
Cam, there we go. I'm just gonna move a little closer. Here comes Jerry Clemens. Short final now, settling down in low. He's down in the pocket now. Starting to pick up the ground effect.
Ooh. Settling down. You're modulating the throttle. He's got it.
Good over the
Yeah.
line. Nice one. Little roar of victory there. I don't know how much it slowed him down. Let's check the scores now. Over in the backcountry class, here's what Jerry Clemens putting down. This is the gauntlet. Since none of the other Huskies are here to play, 333, run 1. Run 2, 313. Run 3 had a 203-foot takeoff. Is actually his.
So Joel Milloway is taxiing in front of us right now, and I am enamored by his tail light.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That's super cool. It is a. If you can't see it, it's just a LED strip.
Like a vertical LED there right on the tail. That's really cool. Very streamlined.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of those guys like Kyle Bushman and maybe I don't know if Mike Bush builds airplanes. I know he's the master mechanic, but like Joel Milloway is
master craftsman.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, and I think last year we had I'm blanking on his name. We were just talking about him last night. The other Joel. We'll get back to that. Here we go.
Jerry Clemens' last landing here in practice was 98 feet. That's shaved over half. Oh, that thing looked like it was flying nose forward.
Yeah.
Before he even pulled back, it looked like it was ready to go. Maybe got a little gust and popped it up into the air a little bit there. So his best combined score now in practice is 301 feet combined. Ooh. Joel Milloway is coming out to play in the sport class in the Rans S7. These are two very different airplanes that do not normally compete against each other.
right. Joe Milloway on the go, tail up. He's going to.
Floating off. I feel like Joel was like, oh, there's a lot of wind finally. I'm going to go practice real quick. Look at that. That was nice and short for Joel Milloway, waiting for the scores to come in there. 192-foot takeoff for Jerry Clemens that time. I feel like that could have been a little bit shorter. Jeff Vallon coming out to play in Lil Rabbit. I love. I just noticed on the fuselage, he's written all the states that it's landed at, just in Sharpie on the side.
That's awesome.
Here comes Kyle Patterson as well in the Kit Fox.
The Electric Fox.
Hashtag Electric Fox. He's getting ready to go play. Things are speeding up a little bit now. There's a little bit of urgency with the rain. Jerry Clemens on final approach. Joel Milloway kind of cutting the corner on the downwind, I think. Oh, a little bit of lightning off in the distance there, just beyond the foothill.
Oh. So I'm guessing Joel is he setting up to land on the main runway, you think? Oh no, he's widening his pattern.
Oh, the wind is now strong enough to blow away Cam's tortillas.
Jeez.
They've been blown a tortilla down. Tortilla down.
I'm going to grab this fodder real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Go get it. All right, it's Jerry Clemens now coming in the downpour. We're getting pretty wet right now here at Pinedale, so that's great. And
yeah, it's happening right now.
Just gonna kind of close this laptop and try to protect it a little bit. So it looks like folks are getting pulled back into the barn. Maybe, I don't know. Let's check what's going on.
Woo!
You notice that, watch Joel Milloway now coming in on this gust. He is working for it. We've got a lot of wind now here in Pinedale, Wyoming. Watch Joel Milloway. Look at that. Working for it in the wind. Took right on the nose there. Oh, excellent landing by Joel Milloway into the Tiger Shark. That was something else.
That was exciting. And Joel's giving us a smoke show.
Yeah, a little smoke show to show us the wind he just dealt with. And I am just in a little bit of triage mode. We're having some fun. Thank you very much. I'm going to put some electronics away here. And we may be taking a small break for the rain and the wind. Trying to do our best to bring this show to you. Okay. All right. I just got the word for race control. We are headed back into the barn due to the storm that's coming overhead. We do have a little bit of lightning. So we are going to go take some shelter. We will be back. If you're watching online, tune in just a minute. But for now, thanks so much for joining us, folks. Now would be a good time to head over to the FBO area just to get some shelter or to some cars. We're going to make sure you guys get safe. So we're going to head to commercial. We'll be back with more STOL action after this wraps up.
Special thanks to our annual sponsors: Legend Aircraft, Clemens Insurance, Behringer Aero, Sarasota Avionics, Lift Aviation USA, Flying Eyes Optics, Red Tag Art, Legendary Aviation Coffee Company. I Fly EFB by Adventure Pilot.
ICOM Radios.
Tundra Tailwheel. Fly Orca. Special thanks to our local sponsors. Local hosts, Emblem Aviation. Presenting sponsor, Genuine Aircraft Hardware. Travel and tourism grant provided by the town of Pinedale. New Fork River level sponsor, Roseman Wagner Wealth Management. Thank you to our Boulder Creek level sponsors, Black Mountain Rental, Country Lane Gas and Liquor, Kanoko, and Rocky Mountain Power Sports. Thank you to our Willow Creek level sponsors as well, Napa Pinedale Auto Supply, White Bear Creations, Kendall Valley Lodge, Pinedale Properties, the Flying Cowboys, and Peter Sherville, State Farm, and our Pole Creek level sponsors, Abe's Aviation, Classic Aircraft Services, Tempest, Wind River Air LLC, Culpeper Creek Cattle Company, and Mike Fargo.